Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto awakens the Sharingan at the age of 8 part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. Today was October 10th in Konoha, the Hidden Leaf Village. The people of this village were out celebrating the victory over the nine-tailed demon fox 8 years earlier. For most people, this would be a day of fun and spending time with family and friends. But for one blonde-haired boy named Naruto Uzumaki, he was doing his best to stay hidden from the villagers to avoid another beating. He didn't know for sure why the villagers hated him, but from hearing all the names he was always called, he had a pretty good idea. He just had no way of finding out for sure. Taking a turn down an alley to avoid a crowd of people, Naruto failed to notice the two Chunin who followed after him. By the time Naruto realized he wasn't alone, one of the Chunin dropped down in front of him and pulled a kunai and slashed him across the chest before kicking him into the wall. Naruto hit the wall and slid down it to the ground. Slowly standing back up, he saw the other Chunin join him and both had kunai in their hands. Now we will finish what the Yondaime started 8 years ago, laughed one of the Chunin. Prepared to die, demon brat, said the other as both Chunins threw their kunai. I don't want to die yet. There's so much I haven't done yet. I just can't die yet, Naruto screamed in his head as closed his eyes for a split second. When he reopened them, everything seemed to slow down for him. He could see the kunai still flying through the air, but they seemed to be moving slower. Thinking quickly, he grabbed both kunai out of the air and sent them flying back at their owners. The Chunin were surprised to see the demon grab the kunai and failed to move in time to avoid them. The kunai stuck in their foot, sticking them in place. Naruto noticed this in turn and ran out of the alley. He knew there would be people waiting for him at his apartment, so he went to his favorite spot in the village where no one ever looked for him, on top of the Yondaime's head. He got there and sat down to catch his breath, and before he knew it, he fell back into unconsciousness. Mindscape. Naruto woke up to the sound of dripping water. He stood up and noticed he was in what appeared to be a sewer with pipes running along the tunnel he was in and water everywhere. He looked down at the water he was standing in and noticed something strange with his eyes. Where they were once a bright sky blue, they were now a deep crimson red with 2 tomo in his right eye and 1 tomo in his left. What the hell is wrong with my eyes? Naruto asked out loud. Come down the tunnel and you will have your answers, said a booming voice from nowhere. Naruto, deciding he had no other ideas on what to do, decided to listen to the voice. He walked down the tunnel and came to a large open room that had a large gate and with a piece of paper on it. On the paper was the kanji for the word seal. Naruto started to walk toward the gate when 2 large orange eyes with black slit pupils appeared, causing him to stop. Out of the shadows came a large 9-tailed fox with red fur that sat down behind the gate and just stared at him. Hello, kid, the fox said. So it is true then, I really do have the Kyuubi sealed within me? Naruto said. Yes, I am sealed within you, but that is not why you're here. Well, at least not all of it, the fox said, causing Naruto to look at it. What do you mean? Naruto asked. That would be because of me, said another voice from beside the fox. Naruto looked down and saw the Yondaime Hokage standing before him. The Yondaime got sealed in here as well? Naruto asked, a bit confused. No, I am not sealed in here, only the Kyuubi is. I am dead. The only reason I am here is because I sealed part of my chakra in the seal when I sealed the Kyuubi, Minato said, and was immediately punched in the gut by an angry Naruto. Why the hell would seal the Kyuubi inside of me? Do you have any idea how bad my life has been? Naruto screamed at the dead Kage. Calm down, kid. Just listen to what he has to say first, the fox said. Minato looked down at his angry son and let out a sigh. I sealed the Kyuubi inside you because I knew you had what it took to work with the fox and use its power for good. I couldn't ask anyone else to give up their child that night. For one, only someone from the Uzumaki clan could contain the power of the 9-tailed fox. And 2, I couldn't ask someone else to give up their child if I wasn't willing to give up my own. That caught Naruto's attention as he looked up to the Kage he had viewed as a hero his whole life. I am your son? Naruto asked. When he received a nod from Minato, he rushed the older blonde and hugged him. After a few minutes, the fox cleared his throat. Not meaning to be rude, but you don't have much longer, Minato, and the kid needs some explanations. Right, what happened to your eyes is simple. You unlocked your Sharingan, Minato said, causing Naruto's eyes to go wide. But I'm not part of the Uchiha clan, Naruto said. But you are part Uchiha just like me and your grandfather, Madara Uchiha, said Minato. But that's impossible. Madara died during his fight with the Shodaime, Naruto replied. That's true, but he used an ability of the Sharingan called a Izanagi to change his fate sometime after his death. My father never even wanted to fight against Hashirama at all. He was forced into it by the clan elders of the Uchiha at the time. There is plenty of information on this and the Sharingan and its abilities in the Uzumaki clan compound, Minato said, but saw Naruto's saddened expression. I wouldn't be allowed in the compound. Everyone thinks I am just an orphan or the demon brat. Even when I asked the Sandaime about my parents, he would always change the subject, replied Naruto. Minato was angered that the village would ignore his final wish to see Naruto as a hero. He turned to look up at the fox. Will you show Naruto where the compound is and help him to get what is rightfully is? You know I will help him, Minato. Just like I helped his mother and Mito," replied the fox. "Can I hear about my mother?" Naruto asked. "I'm afraid I don't have any time left, Naruto. However, there is plenty left from your mother and I in the compound, and even the fox has some stories I'm sure he would tell you," Minato said with a smile. "However, when you wake up there should be a katana laying near you that belonged to your mother. She was a feared swordwoman in her day and wanted you to take after her. She sealed it in with the kyuubi so you would have it when you first came here." "How do I turn the Sharingan off?" asked Naruto. "Just stop the flow of chakra to your eyes for a minute and they will go off," replied Minato as he watched Naruto turn his Sharingan off. Naruto hugged his father as he saw him start to fade away. "Stay strong, Naruto, and always follow your heart. Your mother and I will always be watching over you and we love you very much," Minato said as he faded away. Naruto wiped away a few tears before looking up at the fox. "So what now, Kyuubi-san? First, the name is Kurama. Second, could you change this mindscape of yours into something other than a sewer? It gets boring in here with nothing to do all day. After that I will lead you to your parents' place so you can get your stuff, and we can start your training. You may also want to find someone to teach you kenjutsu," Kurama said. Naruto nodded before he closed his eyes in concentration. After a few minutes the sewer started to vanish, replaced by a large open field with a river in the middle surrounded by the forest. There were even a few large animals running around. "I like it, Kit, but what's with the animals?" asked Kurama. "I thought you may like something to do while you are in here," Naruto said with a shrug as he started to fade. Real world. When Naruto came back to the land of consciousness, he noticed a weight on his stomach. Setting up, he found a katana in a blood-red sheath with the design of the kyuubi on it. Drawing the blade from its sheath, he found a blade about 2.5 feet long colored a deep crimson. The handle of the blade was wrapped in red and black cloth. Naruto slowly sheathed the blade and went to strap it to his back when Kurama stopped him. "Hold on, Kit. There should be a seal on the sheath somewhere near the handle. Find it and pump some of your chakra into it," Kurama said. Naruto looked for the seal and pumped his chakra into it when he found it. Out of the seal popped a 6-foot metal pole with a black, curved blade on the end. "That scythe was how your mother became known as the Red Death of Konoha. She was a master swordswoman and was just as deadly with that scythe of hers." Naruto resealed the scythe and strapped the katana to his back. "How are you speaking to me? Your father removed a part of the seal before he left, so now we can talk without you being in here. All you have to do is think what you want to say and I will hear it. Why are you heading to the Hokage Tower, Kit?" "I'm gonna talk with Gigi and find out why he lied to me about my parents. You also said I should find someone to teach me kenjutsu, and if she is working tonight then I already have someone in mind," replied Naruto. 5 minutes later, Hiruzen Sarutobi was sitting behind his desk doing his paperwork. However, his mind was on his grandson in all but blood and was hoping he was okay. He was about to check his crystal ball when there was a knock at the door. "Come in," said the aged Kage. Naruto walked through the door and found the Kage sitting behind his desk. The old Kage smiled at Naruto, but it soon dropped when he saw the seriousness in his face. He was also curious as to where Naruto got the sword from. He could have sworn he had seen that blade somewhere before. "Good evening, Hokage-sama. If Nikone is around tonight, I need to speak with the two of you alone, please," Naruto said, causing the aged Kage to wonder what was going on. Hiruzen made a single hand sign and 3 of the 4 umbu left while one with a cat mask landed beside Naruto. Hiruzen made a set of hand signs and placed them on his desk, causing a seal to glow for a brief moment. "Alright, Naruto-kun, it's only the 3 of us here now. What do you need to talk about? I would like to know why you lied to me when you said you didn't know who my parents were," Naruto said, shocking Hiruzen. "What do you mean, Naruto?" Hiruzen asked, slightly worried of what might happen. "I know you knew who my parents were. I met my father tonight. Apparently he sealed some of his chakra away with the kyuubi 8 years ago. Now I would like to know why you lied to me," Naruto replied. "I am sorry, Naruto, but we couldn't risk telling you and you going and telling others. Your parents made a lot of enemies during their time and would do anything they could to harm anyone related to either of your parents," explained the Hokage. Naruto slammed his hands down on the desk and subconsciously activated his Sharingan, shocking both Hiruzen and Yugao. "So you did it because you didn't trust me. All you had to do was tell me not to say anything and I would have kept my mouth quiet about everything. All I ever wanted to know was if my parents loved me or not, and who they were." "How do you have the Sharingan?" asked Yugao. "Family bloodline from my father's side of the family. Dad was part Uchiha and he got that from my grandfather, Madara Uchiha," Naruto told the 2 other people in the room. "But Madara died fighting the first Hokage," Yugao said, confused. "Yes, apparently the clan elders forced Ojizen into fighting the first Hokage. After his death he used the Sharingan ability to change his fate and left the clan behind. He never wanted to fight Hashirama-sama," explained Naruto. Everyone was quiet as they processed what they had just learned. It was broken by Yugao speaking up. "That is your mother's blade, isn't it?" "Yes, this belonged to my mom." "Why?" asked Naruto. "Your mother was my Jonin sensei and always carried that blade with her. I never knew she had a kid because I joined the Umbu and didn't get to see her much. If you need someone to teach you, I would be more than happy to teach you, Naruto-kun. I would like that, Nei-chan, thank you. Hokage-sama, I am going to the Uzumaki clan compound to get what is rightfully mine. Dad even told me to go there when I met him. Naruto said and turned to walk out. What was said here tonight, Naruto-kun, is an S-class secret. Please do not tell anyone about this. Hiruzen said. Naruto just nodded and left, leaving Yugao and Hiruzen alone. If he takes after his parents and grandfather, he will be the strongest ninja of his generation. Yugao said. That he will. I just hope the foolish villagers don't do anything to him, or I fear they won't like what he can do. Hiruzen replied as he went back to work. In the middle of training ground 14 stood two masked figures, both holding a katana, staring down the other. The first stood just under the 5-foot mark at 4 foot and 11 inches. He had a fox umbu mask covering his face and golden blonde hair. He now wore black umbu pants with a kunai pouch strapped to his right thigh, a black shirt with a red Uzumaki swirl on the back, and black ninja sandals. This was Naruto Uzumaki. The second stood at 5 foot and 5 inches and had a cat umbu mask. She had long purple hair that reached down to her waist. She had on her normal umbu attire. This was Yugao Yuzuki. Naruto had multiple small cuts across his arms and chest and was breathing heavily. Yugao had a small cut here and there but was in a lot better shape than Naruto. Doesn't look like you can go much longer, Fox-kun, Yugao said, watching the young blonde. Just means I have to try and end this quickly, Nico-chan. Naruto replied before taking a deep breath. Well, let's see what you can do then, Yugao said as she made 2 shadow clones. 2 of the clones rushed Naruto from the side while the real Yugao jumped into the air. Lee style, Dance of the Crescent Moon. Naruto watched as the 3 Yugeos came closing in on him, leaving an afterimage of her swords. The clone on his right made it to him first, and struck out with her blade, give him another cut on his arm. Deciding not to fight a losing battle, he waited till the second clone got close before using a shunshin to evade the blade. The clones wasn't expecting this and ended up striking each other, causing them to be dispelled. The real Yugao landed and looked around for the blonde ninja. Seeing a shadow pass by her, she looked up to see Naruto falling from the sky, spinning with his blade outstretched. Uzumaki style, whirlpool slash. Naruto's blade connected with Yugao and sliced through her body. Suddenly there was a poof of smoke, and when it cleared there was a split log lying on the ground. Naruto looked around for the cat-masked umbu. He found her when she jumped from a nearby tree and began her descent towards him. Hazy moon night. Yugao's body seemed to be surrounded by blades as she fell towards him. Naruto tried to block the attack, but his blade passed right through hers. Yugao landed and immediately brought her blade to the young blonde's neck. Sorry, Fox-kun, but you lose, Yugao said as they both sheathed their blades. You have really progressed over the last 2 years. Keep progressing like this, and by the time you graduate the academy in 2 years you will be far past the others in your class. Naruto let his senses spread throughout the area to make sure no one was around. When he didn't sense anyone, he removed the fox mask and sealed it away in one of the seals on his shirt. I wouldn't have gotten this far if it wasn't for you, Nei-chan. I can only do so much with just reading the scrolls left to me and practicing by myself. Why don't you get one of your friends to help you train when I can't? Questioned Yugao. I only have a few friends, Nei-chan. Shikamaru is too lazy to do anything and Shuji doesn't like hurting his friends. Shino and his family help me out with chakra control exercises, but that's about it since they mostly deal with their Kikaichu. And I'm still trying to break Hinata out of her shyness. And besides, do you really think that the Hyuga would allow the heiress to spend time with the demon brat? Naruto explained. You shouldn't talk about yourself like that, Naruto-kun. I heard you were just doing enough in your schoolwork to barely get by. May I ask why? Yugao asked. I just don't want anyone seeing what I am truly capable of right now. Almost everyone considers me the dope of this class, so I want to surprise them when I show them what I'm truly capable of when the time comes. Plus the Uchiha would just demand that I give or teach him everything, and I wouldn't do it considering it is clan-related, and I don't think Gigi wants me to reveal my heritage right now. Naruto explained as he and Yugao made their way back to the village. I can understand why you are doing it, Naruto-kun, but I still don't like it. You are a lot better than what everyone gives you credit for, and I just want to see you get the respect you deserve. 2 years later, Naruto sat in the back of the classroom with 2 of his friends, Shino and Hinata. Today was the day of the graduation exams and Naruto was ready to start showing people what he could do. It was still a bit early, and the only other person in the room was Sasuke. After about another 15 minutes, the other students started filing into the classroom. The only ones not present was Iruka and Mizuki, the 2 Chunin instructors. As the students were waiting for their teachers, Hinata, Naruto, and Shino were sitting in the back row talking amongst each other. So Naruto, when do you plan on showing what you can actually do? Shino asked one of his few friends. Naruto knew that he hid what he was truly capable pretty good from most people. There were only a few people that knew this, and Shino and Hinata were 2 of those few. Starting today, Shino, from this point on I'm not hiding anything anymore. Ever since Naruto had read the scrolls left to him by his family, he had changed. One of the things that changed was him running around shouting about how awesome he was going to be. Now, He just kept to himself and would show everyone just what Naruto Uzumaki was capable of when the time was right. He still wanted to be Hokage, but that was no longer his main dream. Now he wanted to make his parents and grandfather proud and rebuild the Uzumaki clan to its former glory. You're still hiding the fact that you have the Sharingan and that you also have Uchiha and Senju blood running through your veins, Kit. So can you really say you aren't hiding anything anymore? Kurama asked. You know what I mean, Kurama. Everything will be revealed in time. It wouldn't do any good to reveal everything all at once. I plan on letting my team find out, but I want to know who is on my team first, and if I can trust them. Naruto replied. Just then, the door opened to reveal Iruka and Mizuki. The two walked in and the class immediately calmed down and started paying attention. Normally this wouldn't happen, but with the graduation exams taking place today, everyone wanted to get started. Seeing everyone paying attention, Iruka cleared his throat and got started. Good morning, class. Glad to see each of you are ready to begin. Before we get started with the graduation exams, I would just like to tell each of you that I am proud of you for making this far. I want you all to know that the life of a ninja is not an easy one. There will be good times, but there will also be bad times. Always do your best on your missions and always be there for your teammates. The exam will be split into 3 parts: a written exam, shuriken and kunai throwing, and then the 3 jutsus you all have been learning since you started here. After that you will have the opportunity to perform any jutsu you may know for bonus points. Now let's begin. Iruka explained as Mizuki handed out the testing papers. As he reached Naruto and his friends, an evil grin appeared on his face as he handed Naruto his test. Naruto looked over the questions and quickly realized that part of them were Chunin level questions with a Jonin level question here and there. Ino and Hinata both realized this and started to speak up when Naruto stopped them and simply shook his head no. They both raised an eyebrow until Naruto started answering the questions. I told you it would be a good idea to have your sister help you study for this, Kurama said through the telepathic link. I knew they would try and mess with my exam somehow, but I didn't think they would give me questions that a genin hopeful couldn't answer. Oh well, just have to show them I'm not as stupid as they think I am. Naruto thought back as he worked on finishing his test. 1 hour later. Alright everyone, time's up for the written test. Please follow Mizuki outside and hand in your test papers as you go, Iruka said as he slid the door open and waited for each student. The last 3 to hand in their tests were Hinata, Naruto, and Shino. As Shino handed his in, he caught Iruka's attention. Iruka-sensei, it would seem that Naruto-san was given a different test than the rest of us. Iruka looked confused until he looked at Naruto's test paper. As he looked it over, his look of confusion quickly turned into one of anger. Why didn't you say anything, Naruto? I would have given you a different test. Iruka asked. It's fine, sensei. I had Nei-chan help me study for the exams today, so I think I did pretty well. Plus, Gigi said that he would be watching the exams take place today so he could get the teams made as soon as possible, so I'm sure he already knows. Naruto explained as he began walking outside followed by the other 3. From the ones I can answer myself, you did excellent, Naruto. If something like this happens again, please let someone know. At Naruto's nod, Iruka walked over and continued with the graduation exam. The next part of the test was kunai and shuriken throwing. The only ones who did anything worth noting were the clan-born children and Sakura. Most of the rookie 9s scored within the 80 to 90 point mark, with Sasuke getting a 98. The local fangirl club and some of the males cheered for Sasuke, but that soon turned to shouts of anger when Naruto scored a perfect 100. The next part of the exam was the ninjutsu section. Once again, only the clan-born and Sakura did any good. For the bonus points, each student showed off a jutsu they knew. Sakura performed one of the few medical jutsus she had been learning, Ino performed her clan's signature mind switch, and Kiba showed the Getsuga with Akamaru. Chuji used a partial expansion jutsu, Shikamaru showed his shadow paralysis jutsu, Hinata performed a held-back version of the gentle fist, and Shino showed his ability to use his insects. Sasuke showed his ability to use the fireball jutsu. Everyone was shocked to see the jutsu that Naruto used. He created 4 shadow clones before they spread out. He and the 4 clones stood in a pentagon formation before each made a set of hand signs. Naruto and each clone then blew out an elemental bullet consisting of fire, water, earth, air, and lightning, 1 element for each Naruto. This left the class shocked in some cases and angered in others. As Iruka led the students back inside, an Umbu appeared and handed Iruka an envelope. When he made it back to the classroom, he handed out the Hittite to those that passed before sending the ones that didn't home. Congratulations, class, on passing the graduation exams. You are all true ninja of the Hidden Leaf Village now. In my hand are the teams handpicked by Lord Hokage himself. Please listen as I go over the list of which team you will be on. Your Jonin-sensei will be here shortly to pick you up, Iruka explained. Naruto tuned Iruka out for the first few minutes as the first 6 teams were all civilians. When Iruka started with Team 7, he started paying attention. Team 7 will be Kiba Inuzuka, Sakura Haruno, and Sasuke Uchiha under Kakashi Hatake. Team 8 will be Shino Aburame, Hinata Hyuga, and Naruto Uzumaki under Kurenai Yuhi. Team 9 is still in circulation, so Team 10 will be Shikamaru Nara, Ino Yamanaka, and Chuji Akimichi under Asuma Saratobi. Please wait here until your Jonin-sensei comes to get you, Irika said before leaving. About 5 minutes later, a woman walked into the room. She was a fair-skinned woman of slender build. She had long black hair reaching her upper back, and very unique eyes that were a crimson red in color. Her outfit consisted of a red mesh armor blouse with only the right sleeve visible. Over this is very broad material which looked like bandages with a pattern on it similar to those of rose thorns. Her hands and upper thighs were wrapped in bandages. "Teammate with me," was all she said before turning around and leaving. The 3 members of Teammate stood and followed their new sensei. The 3 genin followed their sensei to a barbecue place where they sat down, and Kurenai ordered them some food. Let's start with introductions, shall we? My name is Kurenai Yuhi. I like genjutsu, teaching genjutsu to others, and spending time with my friends. I dislike those that put genjutsu down, rapists and traitors. My hobbies include training and spending time with my friends. My dream is to see the 3 of you go far in life and one day settle down and have a family, Kurenai said before pointing to Hinata. My name is Hinata Hyuga. I like my friends, my little sister Hanabi, and training in my clan's gentle fist. I dislike those that put my friends down, the separation between the families of my clan, and the clan's caged bird seal. My hobbies are training, flower pressing, and spending time with my sister and friends. My dream is to one day get rid of the caged bird seal and have a family, Hinata said without a single stutter. The past 4 years of being around Naruto and really helped her get over her shyness and self-confidence issues. Shino was the one to go next. My name is Shino Abirame. I like my family, friends and the bugs I use. I dislike those that hurt the bugs and try to destroy them. My hobbies are breeding new insects for my clan to use. My dream is to one day take over as head of the Abirame clan, Shino stated in his monotone voice. And finally it was Naruto's turn. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like me friends, Yugaone-chan, Gigi, and my other precious people. I dislike traitors, bullies, and those who don't know the difference between a kunai and the scroll it is sealed in, Naruto said, causing Kurenai's eyes to widen slightly that he knew of the burden he carried. My hobbies are training to make my family proud, spending time with my friends, and gardening. My dream is to one day rebuild the Uzumaki clan into the great village it once was and my parents and grandfather proud and to one day have a family. All 3 had questions about what he meant by rebuilding the Uzumaki clan and who his parents and grandfather was. However, no one asked due to not wanting to intrude on him. Kurenai decided to point out a different fact. You know, Naruto, to rebuild a clan, that could mean you may need more than one wife to accomplish that. I know, Kurenai-sensei. I figured that out once I read my mother's scrolls, Naruto said with a small nod. Anyways, you 3 aren't full genin yet. The graduation exam was just to see who had potential to become genin. Meet me at Training Ground 8 tomorrow morning at 7:30 for your true genin test, Kurenai said before everyone left to get some rest for the rest day. Naruto, Hinata, and Shino stood in the middle of Training Ground 8 in front of their sensei. The 3 genin hopefuls were ready to get the test started and prove they had what it took to be ninja of Konoha. Kurenai could see the determination in Naruto and Hinata's eyes and assumed Shino had the same look behind his glasses. She had heard Irika and the Hokage talk about these 3 kids and what they were capable of. She had seen them training a few times and was amazed by the teamwork and coordination she saw between the 3 of them and couldn't wait to see what they could do firsthand. Glad to see you 3 are here on time. Now before we get started, I just want to let you all know that this test has a 66% fail rate. If the 3 of you fail this test you will be sent back to the academy. She started and was glad to see that neither of them seemed taken back by this. She pulled out 2 bells and a clock from her pocket before continuing. You 3 have until noon to get these bells from me. There are only 2 bells, so that means one of you will be sent back to the academy today. Begin. Shino and Hinata immediately jumped back into the trees and suppressed their chakra. Naruto simply stood there for a few moments before biting his thumb and making a few hand signs. Kurenai saw this and pulled a kunai from her pouch and got in a defensive stance waiting to see what Naruto would do. He slammed his hand to the ground. There was a small cloud of smoke, and when it cleared, it showed a small red snake-looking creature with wings. The small dragon looked up to see Naruto and quickly wrapped itself around his neck and rubbed its cheek against his. Good morning, Naruto-sama. How may I help you today? The dragon asked in a feminine voice. Good morning, Akane. I need you to find Shino and Hinata and lead them back to me once you find them, Naruto said, getting a nod from Akane before flying off. Naruto then turned around and walked off into the forest, leaving a confused Kurenai alone in the clearing. Was that a dragon summon? But there's no way, that summons contract hasn't been seen since Kushina-sensei. Kurenai thought to herself before a thought entered her mind. Naruto is an Uzumaki too. Could he be Sensei's son? Naruto was sitting on a branch high up in a tree in the forest waiting for his teammates to show up. So what's your plan, Kit? Kurama asked. I have never seen a 3-man squad before. There has to be a different meaning to this test. If I had to guess, Kurenai-sensei wants to see if we will turn our backs on one another or if we will work together as a team or not. Naruto replied as he felt his teammates land on the branch behind him. Naruto stood and turned around to face his teammates before speaking. I'm sure you two have figured out this test by now, right? Naruto asked, getting a nod from Ino and Hinata. Well, I have a plan that might just work, Naruto said before he started explaining his plan. Kurenai walked out of the forest and into another clearing. It had been about 2 hours since the test started, and she still hadn't seen any signs of her potential team. Suddenly she felt 2 chakra signatures and turned to see Hinata and Naruto come running out of the forest. From what I've seen and been told, these 3 wouldn't abandon one another, so that must mean Shino is somewhere nearby. Kurenai thought to herself as she pulled 2 kunai from her pouch and held them in a reverse grip. Naruto made it to her first and threw a punch at his sensei's face. She leaned back slightly to avoid getting hit, and then threw her own punch at the blonde's ribs. The punch landed and pushed Naruto back a few feet, but he didn't let that stop him. He charged forward again and jumped into the air and tried to kick her in the side of the head. Kurenai leaned backwards into a handstand and kicked Naruto away in the process. She didn't get a break, however, when she had to start dodging Juken strikes from Hinata. After about a minute of dodging the Hyuga's attacks, Kurenai noticed that the attacks were sloppy, unlike what she had seen before. She grabbed Hinata's wrist and delivered an open palm strike to the girl's stomach. She wasn't expecting Hinata to poof into smoke from the hit. She barely had time to bring her kunai up to block Naruto's next attack. Uzumaki style, whirlpool slash. Naruto came spinning through the air at Kurenai, who stopped his blade with her kunai. I'll admit I was surprised to see you had a clone pose as Hinata. But you do know that you won't pass this test alone, Kurenai said. Naruto just looked at her with a smirk. Who said I was out here alone? Naruto asked. Kurenai then noticed another chakra coming up behind her and quickly kicked Naruto away. She turned around and started dodging Juken strikes from Hinata. She could tell this was the real Hinata by the way she moved and delivered each strike. She was wondering where Shino was, but her main focusing was on not letting any of Hinata's attacks land a hit. Hinata threw her arm forward to strike at Kurenai's shoulder, but was sent flying when Kurenai grabbed her arm and threw her. Naruto caught Hinata, causing the girl to blush at the closeness before they heard the alarm go off. Doesn't look like you all passed the test after all, Kurenai said. Just then Shino landed next to the other 2 genin, and held out his hand showing he had the bells. While you were busy with Hinata and Naruto, I sent my Kikachu after the bells. Very well done, but who will you give the other bell to, Shino? Kurenai asked. Shino took the bells and threw them back at his sensei. Pass or fail, we do it as a team, Shino said, getting nods from Hinata and Naruto. Kurenai let a small smile grace her face before speaking. Congratulations teammate, you pass. Let's go get a mission and then we'll do some training. As they all started walking toward the Hokage tower. Naruto, that creature you summoned back there, was that a dragon? Kurenai asked, getting a nod from the blonde. But that contract hasn't been seen since my mother was alive. Yes, Kurenai-sensei, Kushina Uzumaki was my mother, Naruto said, causing the other's eyes to go wide. Then that means your father is. Kurenai started once again, only to have Naruto finish her sentence for her. The Yandame Hokage, Minato Namikaze. Please don't let anyone else know about this. I trust you all as my teammates not to tell anyone else, Naruto said as they continued to walk as he explained about his parents. It had been a month since Naruto and his team had become genin. For the last month they had been doing D-rank missions and training. They were currently walking back to the Hokage tower with an angry Tora in Naruto's arms. They walked into the tower and gave the cat back to the daimyo's wife. Naruto may have felt bad for the cat had it not tried to claw his eyes out. Teammate then walked up to the Hokage to report their mission finished. Teammate reporting the capture Tora mission a success, Kurenai said as she and her team bowed before their leader, even with Naruto mumbling about feeding the cat to one of his dragons. The aged Kage let out a small chuckle at Naruto before looking through the mission scrolls he had available. Let's see, you can help the Inuzukas walk their dogs, an elderly couple need help with some yard work, or before he could finish a Chunin walked through the door and bowed before the Hokage. Please forgive the intrusion, Hokage-sama, but we just received a report from Team 7. The Chunin said as he handed the Hokage the report. Hiruzen read over the report before his widened a little. Nico! Shouted Hiruzen, and a moment later the cat Mastambu was kneeling in front of him. Retrieve Team 10 and bring them here immediately. Team 8, please wait here until Team 10 arrives, Hiruzen said, getting a nod from the Umbu before she disappeared. Team 8 was confused about what was going on but just decided to wait like they were told. 5 minutes later, and in walked Team 10 led by Asuma. What's up, Dad? Asuma asked as he stood next to Kurenai. This morning I sent Kakashi's team on a C-rank mission to guard a bridge builder from the Land of Waves while he finishes his bridge. The most they were expected to encounter was bandits, but it seems the client lied about the dangers of the mission. Kakashi decided to go ahead with the mission instead of returning here. I am sending teams 8 and 10 as backup. With 3 Jonin, there should be more than enough strength to finish out the mission, Hiruzen explained. Hi Hokage-sama, Kurenai and Asuma both said as they bowed. They turned to their teams. Pack for a month trip and meet at the main gate in 30 minutes. Asuma said as Kurenai nodded her head in agreement. Asuma, Kurenai, Naruto, please stay for a moment, Hiruzen said as the other genin left the room. Naruto, how much have you told your team about your secrets? Hiruzen asked. They know about my mother and father and the dragon contract. Kurenai-sensei knows about the Kyuubi, but as far as I know, Hinata and Shino don't. Naruto replied. So you haven't told anyone but me and Nico about your bloodline? Hiruzen asked, getting a nod from the blonde. What kind of bloodline is it, Dad? Asuma asked. That is not for me to tell. If Naruto wishes for anyone to know, that is up to him. If you happen to need to use it on this mission, Naruto, I'm sure Sasuke will demand answers if he sees it. If he tries to force you into anything, I am giving you full permission to retaliate in any way you see fit. Hiruzen said, getting another nod from the blonde. Before Naruto left, he turned to his sensei. I will explain everything in time, sensei. Just know that my bloodline will not bring harm to the team or the village. Naruto said before leaving. I want you two to keep an eye on Kakashi. I have had reports that he isn't focusing on training the whole team. Instead, he focuses solely on the Uchiha. Maybe it is to repay Obito for something or something else entirely. Make sure he trains each of his students, and if necessary, intervene if you have to, Hiruzen said to his two jonin, receiving nods before they left. The two jonin arrived at the gate to find the genin ready to go. Alright, Team 7 is about 6 hours ahead of us, so we need to get moving if we hope to catch them. Kurenai said. Sensei, I have a way to get us there without us having to use a lot of chakra to get there, Naruto said as he walked outside the gate. He bit his thumb before making a set of hand signs and slamming his hand to the ground. Summoning jutsu, there was a large puff of smoke. When the smoke cleared, Team 10's eyes were wide. Standing before them was a large dragon with dark, red scales and a beige-colored stomach. The dragon looked down at Naruto, and a smile spread across his face, giving him a slightly terrifying look. What do you need from me, Naruto-sama? Asked the dragon. If you would kneel, I need you to fly us to the land of waves to catch up with the team that left earlier today. We are needed for backup, Naruto said. Of course, Naruto-sama. The now named Igneel replied as he lowered his body so Ninja could get on. Once everyone was on his back, he let out a loud roar and took off into the sky. Team 7 along with Tazuna had just made it to shore and got off the boat they were on. As they started walking along the road towards Tazuna's house, they heard something coming from the trees. They got ready to attack whatever it was until they saw Teams 8 and 10 land in front of them. Asuma and Kurenai walked up to Kakashi as he began to speak. I take it you all are the backup I requested? How did you all get here so fast? Kakashi asked. Asuma started to speak, but Kurenai beat him to it. Let's just say special transportation and leave it at that for now, Kurenai said, knowing Naruto didn't want to reveal too much right now. Kakashi simply nodded and the group of ninja and one civilian started walking again. After about 30 minutes of walking, Sasuke threw a kunai into a bush. He walked over to see what it was, only to pick up a rabbit. Naruto looked at the rabbit for a moment before he noticed something. The rabbit's fur is wrong for this time of year. Naruto thought to himself. Kid, behind you. Get down! Kurama yelled out in Naruto's mind. As Kurama yelled at him, he yelled at everyone else. All the ninja reacted quickly except for Sakura and Ino. When they saw the blade coming at them, they froze. Kiba had managed to tackle Sakura to the ground but left Ino standing there. Naruto jumped toward her and knocked her out of the way, but didn't move fast enough to dodge the blade. Naruto screamed in pain as the large blade was stuck horizontally across his chest a few inches deep. Kurenai and Hinata both hurried over to Naruto and gently pulled the blade from his chest and tossed it away to try and begin to heal him. Shino, Shikamaru, and Chuji took up positions around Naruto waiting for whoever threw the blade. Ino sat there in shock as she watched Kurenai try and heal her student. Suddenly everyone heard laughter and looked to find it coming from Sasuke. The dope got himself killed just to save a worthless kunoichi, Sasuke said. Everyone but Team 7 was tempted to beat Sasuke right then but had more important issues to deal with. Kurenai, take your team and Tazuna and get to his house and help Naruto. Shikamaru, Chuji, Ino go with Team 8. I'll stay here with Kakashi and his team and hold off whoever is coming, Asuma said, getting a nod from Kurenai and his team. After they left, Asuma and Kakashi turned to see two men walk out of the fog. One they knew as the Demon of the Mist, Zabuza Momochi. The other man had orange hair, a black kimono, and what looked like a sword on his back. Well, that's one leaf ninja down, 11 more to go. What do you say we see just how good these leaf ninja are, Ichigo? Zabuza asked. Sounds like fun to me, sensei, replied Ichigo as he unwrapped his blade. You will pay for what you did, Asuma said as he and Kakashi took up their fighting stances. Naruto awoke to the sound of animals in the background and loud breathing coming from beside him. He sat up and found himself in a large open field. Looking around, he saw the large fox and realized he was in his mindscape. What am I doing here, Kurama? After that sword embedded itself in your chest, your team and Team 10 rushed you to the bridge builder's house. Your sensei started to heal you but noticed that I had already started working to repair the damage. I managed to fix you up pretty good, but it took quite a bit out of both of us. You will have a little soreness for about a day, but nothing you can't handle. The fox explained. Can you tell who all is around? And do you know anything about who attacked us? Your sensei and teammates took the bridge builder so he could work on the bridge. Teams 10 and 7 are around training somewhere. That Yamanaka girl has been stopping by every so often to check on you. From what I can sense, she seems upset about something every time she comes around. As for who attacked you and the others, it was Zabuza Momochi. Your mother faced off against him once before and I would remember his chakra anywhere, and he is one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. I'm not too sure about anything else since your sensei rushed you here. The fox replied before closing his eyes. Alright, thanks Kurama. I'll talk to you later, Naruto said with a wave as he disappeared from his mind. Naruto opened his eyes and had to close them quickly. The sun decided it wanted to be the first thing that greeted him and was shining directly in his eyes. He started to set up and was met with the soreness Kurama had told him about as he did so. After he was sitting up straight, he decided to remove the bandages on his chest. As he finished removing the last bandage, he heard a knock on the door. Come in, Naruto said as he looked for the scroll that had his belongings sealed inside it. Ino opened the door and stepped in before closing it. She turned to face Naruto to talk to him but stopped when she saw his bare torso. She felt her cheeks get warm but quickly shook her head to clear it. She came here for something else and couldn't get distracted. How are you feeling, Naruto? You're not hurting or anything, are you? Ino asked. I'm fine, Ino. I'm a little sore but that will pass soon enough. So what can I help you with? Naruto asked his fellow blonde. Ino sat down on the bed next to Naruto and stared at the floor. I wanted to thank you and say I'm sorry. What are you talking about, Ino? I just did what anyone else would do for a teammate. There is no need to apologize or thank me for anything, Naruto said with a fox-like smile that caused Ino to blush once again. Not anyone would have done that, Naruto. I want to thank you for saving me and I also want to say that I'm sorry. If I wouldn't have frozen like that, you wouldn't have got hit by that sword, Ino replied. Naruto wanted to tell her that she didn't need to apologize or thank him, but he saw the look in her eyes and thought better of it. Do you know what happened after I passed out? Naruto asked. Asuma-sensei stayed behind with Team 7 to hold off Zabuza Momochi and Ichigo Kurosaki, 2 missing nin from Kiri. Sometime during the fight, both Kakashi and Asuma-sensei got captured in a water prison jutsu but Team 7 managed to free them. They continued fighting and Kakashi and Asuma was about to win but a hunter nin showed up and killed the 2 missing nin and took the bodies. They made it here about 2 hours after we did. Ino explained what she had heard when Asuma and Kurenai had talked. Naruto was deep in thought for a few minutes until something came to him. Did Asuma or Kakashi-sensei say what the hunter nin used to kill the 2? Naruto asked. Sakura said that the hunter nin used Saban. Why? I don't think the hunter nin killed them. They were probably working together. A hunter nin disposes of the body on sight, and only takes back the head as proof that the job was finished. Also, Saban isn't used as a weapon to inflict fatal wounds. Naruto answered. Then what are we going to do? Ino asked with a bit of worry in her voice. We train to get stronger and be ready for anything that might happen. I would give it about a week before those 2 are ready to go again, Naruto replied as he collected his things to leave the room. Can I ask you something, Naruto-kun? Ino asked before she realized what she said and blushed. Where the hell did that come from? She thought quietly. I thought you only used that suffix for the Uchiha? What do you want to ask? Naruto replied. Sasuke isn't the guy I thought he was. He was laughing at you because you got hit with the sword when you saved me. Anyways, would you help me train? I have seen the way you and your team train and I would like help. I don't want to end up freezing in place anymore, and I don't want my friends getting hurt because of me, Ino said, hoping he would help her train. Of course I'll help. But know one thing, it won't be easy. Also, you need to eat more. If you have been dieting or whatever, it needs to stop. The training will just burn away what you eat anyways so you can still keep your body however you want it, Naruto said as he led Ino outside. Team 8 and Tsunade returned home later that evening to find Naruto standing on the bank of the river shouting orders at Team 10 while throwing small pebbles at them. Sitting on the porch of the house was an amused Asuma smoking a cigarette with a smile on his face. Kurenai walked up and sat down in one of the available chairs. What's going on here? Kurenai asked. Not sure myself, but I don't mind really. Naruto and Ino came out of the house shortly after you all left, and Naruto started helping her with the tree climbing exercise. A few hours later and Shuji and surprisingly Shikamaru joined in. Not long after that and Naruto had them walking on water and learning to dodge, move, and fight on water. I haven't seen them like this at all. They must have realized that it isn't easy being a ninja and decided to take things seriously. Looks like you might have problems too, Kurenai, Asuma said, pointing at a slightly fuming Hyuga. Kurenai looked over and saw Hinata trying to stare holes through Ino. She knew the young Hyuga had a crush on Naruto. They had talked about it, and Kurenai even explained to her that she may end up having to share the blonde at some point in life. It just seemed the Hyuga heiress wasn't too thrilled about that. Naruto, Team 10, come here for a minute please, Kurenai shouted from her spot on the porch. The 4 genin walked over to Kurenai, and she gave Naruto a small hand motion in Hinata's direction. Naruto looked over and realized what she was meaning. Naruto wasn't as clueless as everyone thought he was. He knew Hinata liked him, and he had to admit that she was a great girl. But he also knew that he would need multiple wives to restore the Uzumaki clan to its former glory. He had talked to his Gigi and Nei-chan about it, and he had decided that he would only choose the ones that would return the feelings he had for them and could share him with other females. Naruto, since Team 7 isn't due back from training for another hour or two, I think you may need to explain a few things if you wouldn't mind. Kurenai said, getting sigh and a nod from Naruto. Naruto made Team 10 promise not to repeat anything due to it being an S-class secret. He told them who his parents were and of his Uzumaki heritage. Team 10 was surprised that Naruto was actually royalty, and had such strong and famous parents. Ino had other thoughts going through her head about what Naruto had said about needing more than one wife to restore his clan. What I say next is also an S-class secret, if not higher than that, due to certain circumstances. This is not to be even remotely spoke of or hinted at with anyone other than this group and Hokage Gigi. Naruto said in a tone that left no room for argument. Getting nods of agreement from those surrounding him, he closed his eyes and began to focus his chakra. This is the bloodline that Hokage Gigi was talking about back in the village, sensei. Naruto said, opening eyes to reveal 2 fully mature Sharingans. Each eye now had 3 tomos. Everyone was surprised at what they were seeing. How, Naruto? I thought the only Sharingans left were with Sasuke, Kakashi, and Itachi. Asuma said after a few minutes. My father was part Uchiha, and my grandfather was Madara Uchiha. Naruto said as he went to explain what he had learned from meeting his father and reading the scrolls left to him. The last thing I found out is that I am actually from the royal line of the Uzumaki. The Uzumaki clan was divided almost like the Hyuga clan is now, but neither line never had any ill feelings toward the other line of Uzumaki. Before anyone could say anything else, Team 7 came walking out of the forest towards the house. Naruto had yet to get any training done because of helping Team 10. I am going to go out and train for a while, sensei. Naruto said, getting a nod from Kurenai. Naruto was jolted awake from Kurama yelling in his mind. What the hell do you want? Naruto asked. I have been trying to wake your ass for half an hour. Someone has been watching you for a while now. I don't sense any negative emotions, but I figured you would at least like to know. Kurama replied. Naruto gave a mental nod and stood up off the ground. I know you're there, come on out. Naruto shouted. A few moments later, and a girl that looked to only be a year or two older than Naruto stepped out from behind a tree. She had long black hair, pale skin, and dark brown eyes. She was dressed in a light blue kimono with a snowflake pattern on it. I didn't mean to make it seem like I was spying on. I notice your headband, and I haven't had a great past with ninjas. My name is Haku. May I ask what you are doing out here? The girl asked. The name's Naruto Uzumaki. I was helping my friends train and didn't get time to do so myself yesterday. I came out here late yesterday evening and must have fell asleep. What about you? Naruto asked. I came to collect some medical herbs for my father and brother. They were hurt a few days back and I am hoping to make some medicine to help them. The girl replied. You think she could be the one who helped Zabuza and Ichigo? Naruto asked. Just ask her about it. If she is lying, you will know. The fox replied. So how bad is Zabuza and Ichigo? Naruto asked. Who is this Zabuza and Ichigo you speak of? Haku asked. Naruto could immediately tell she was lying thanks to Kurama being able to sense the negative emotions. Please don't lie, Haku. I do not intend to hunt them down. Just let them know that I cannot allow them or you to bring harm to Tsunade or his family. Naruto said as he stood and started walking back towards the house. Arriving back at Tsunade's house, he saw Team 7 training with the tree climbing exercise. He started to walk past him when Sasuke spoke up. Where have you been, Dobe? Asked the Uchiha. Although it's none of your business, Uchiha. I was out training last night. Naruto replied. What good will training do you? You will never be as good as me. Sasuke boasted. Kid, please take this arrogant prick down a few pegs. Kurama almost begged from the seal. Naruto gave a mental nod to his friend before looking back up at the Uchiha. Care to prove that, Sasuke? Let's have a spar right now. Taijutsu, ninjutsu, anything is acceptable. Naruto said, getting the attention of Teams 10 and 8 that had just walked out of the house. Fine, you should be honored that I'm even giving you this chance. Sasuke said as he walked over in front of Naruto. Asuma-sensei, will you referee the spar? Naruto asked, getting a nod from the smoking Jonin. You gonna use your blade or the Sharingan? Asked the fox. No, Kakashi was my dad's student, so he would know more about my mother's blade and scythe than anyone. And I don't want anyone else knowing about the Sharingan just yet. I really don't want to deal with all the bullshit the council would pull if they found out anything about me. Naruto replied, getting a nod from the fox. You both ready? Asuma asked, getting nods. Then begin. He said as he jumped back. Sasuke rushed forward thinking he could end the spar quickly. He threw a punch at Naruto's face only to have the blonde knock his fist to the side. Sasuke then tried to spin kick Naruto in the side only to have the blonde catch his leg before pushing him backwards, causing him to roll away. Sasuke stood up and glared at Naruto before going through a set of hand signs. Fire style, fireball jutsu. Sasuke shouted as he breathed out a large fireball. Naruto just stood there, causing Team 10 to worry a bit. The fireball hit Naruto's location and exploded against the ground. He was even too scared to avoid my jutsu. The dope really was pathetic. Sasuke laughed. Team 10 soon stopped worrying when they saw Naruto silently appear behind Sasuke. You really are arrogant, aren't you? A first-year academy student could have dodged that, Naruto said, causing Sasuke to growl as he quickly turned around with a kunai intending on stabbing the blonde. Naruto ducked under the swing and delivered a powerful uppercut to Sasuke's chin, sending the Uchiha into the air. Naruto then appeared above him and delivered a strong axe kick, sending him rocketing straight back to the ground. Naruto landed and waited for Sasuke to pull himself to a standing position. Naruto quickly made his own set of hand signs and stomped the ground, causing a large slab of rock to spring up in front of him. Earth style, stone bullet barrage, Naruto shouted as he started punching the slab, sending stones flying at Sasuke. The Uchiha managed to avoid most of them, but took a few hard hits to the legs and stomach. Shadow clone jutsu, Naruto said as he made the cross hand sign and a clone appeared beside him. Naruto and his clone started making a quick set of hand signs. Water style, raging current, the clone shouted as he blew a stream of water from his mouth that drenched the Uchiha and ground around him. That jutsu was horrible. All it did was make my clothes wet, Sasuke said with a smirk that soon vanished when he saw Naruto's own smirk. I purposely held back the power on that jutsu, Sasuke. It was part one of me ending this spar. Lightning style, electromagnetic murder. Naruto held out his hands as lightning shot from his fingers and headed for Sasuke. The lighting moved from puddle to puddle created by Naruto's water jutsu before slamming into Sasuke's body. The Uchiha let out a scream of pain before drifting into unconsciousness. Asuma called the spar in Naruto's favor and Kakashi and the rest of Team 7 took Sasuke inside. Everyone congratulated Naruto before his stomach started rumbling. Sorry guys, but I'm hungry. Let me get something to eat and then we'll get some training done, Naruto said and walked inside to eat. After Sasuke and Naruto's spar, the rest of the week had gone by normally. Team 7, 8, and 10 continued their training to get ready for the showdown with Zabuza and his group. The day had finally arrived that the group of Leaf Ninja were expecting Zabuza to make his move. Tsunade and the Leaf Ninja decided to head to the bridge and Naruto left a few shadow clones at the house to protect Tsunami and Inari just in case Gato tried to get them. When the group arrived at the bridge, they found all of the bridge workers unconscious. The ninja quickly checked on the civilians and Naruto made some shadow clones to carry them to safety just as a thick mist washed over the bridge. Everyone was immediately on guard as the mist surrounded them. Naruto, Asuma, and Kakashi flared their chakra and pushed the mist back a good distance away from them. As the mist was pushed back, it revealed Zabuza, Ichigo, and Haku standing and staring at the Leaf Nin. I'll give you Leaf Ninja one more chance to turn around and leave with your lives, Zabuza said. You know we can't do that, Zabuza. We won't let you harm the bridge builder or this town anymore. Kakashi replied, very well. Can't say I didn't try to give you the easy way out. Go Haku, Zabuza said as Haku rushed forward. A second later and Sasuke rushed forward to meet her halfway. Naruto, assist Sasuke. Hinata and Shino protect Tazuna. Kurenai commanded as she rushed forward with Kakashi to fight Zabuza. Let's go team. Asuma commanded as he and Team 10 rushed Ichigo, leaving Hinata and Shino to guard the bridge builder. Haku and Sasuke clashed Senbon with Kunai as they pushed against each other trying to get the upper hand. Naruto stood back watching the power struggle, deciding whether or not to help the Uchiha. Please give up, Ninja-san, you can't win, Haku said. I am an Uchiha. I am the elite of the Leaf Village. I can do anything I want, Sasuke replied in anger as he tried to overpower the ice user. Haku raised a single hand and started making hand signs, surprising both Naruto and Sasuke. 1,000 flying water needles of death, Haku said as the water around her and Sasuke formed floating needles. A second later and the needles flew at Haku and Sasuke, with the Uchiha just barely managing to avoid the projectiles. Haku started making another set of hand signs and Naruto decided to join the fight and try to stop it before someone got hurt. He rushed forward and just before he could make it to Haku, she finished her jutsu. Demonic mirroring ice crystals. A crystal mirror formed behind Haku, and she stepped into it as more mirrors formed around the two ninja. I am afraid this is the end for you. Kakashi and Kurenai were holding their own against Zabuza as he kept attacking from the mist that once again surrounded them. It would seem Haku has decided to quit playing around with your Genin, Zabuza laughed out. Sasuke can handle himself just fine as long as Naruto stays out of his way, Kakashi replied, missing the look of anger that crossed Kurenai's face. In all honesty, copy ninja, from what I can sense, the blonde Gaki stands a better chance than the other brat, Zabuza replied as he once again rushed the two Jonin. Team 10 was doing better against Ichigo than the others were against their opponents. Thanks to Shikamaru's quick thinking and Asuma's quick movements, they were keeping their opponent on the defensive. Ichigo blocked another strike from Asuma's trench knives and allowed himself to be pushed back away from the Leaf Ninjas. I think it's time I quit playing around, Ichigo said as he lifted his hand to his forehead. He made a grabbing motion and pulled down to reveal a mask with the right side being white and the left side having red lines across it. Team 10 immediately felt the rise in power, and knew they were in for a hell of a fight. Naruto's shadow clone sat the front porch of Tsunade's house waiting for the two people it sensed coming. He had his sword and scythe unsealed just in case they were an enemy. A few minutes later two men, samurai from what Naruto could tell, came walking up the path leading to the house. Naruto stood and walked down and stood in front of them. "What do you want?" Naruto asked as he held his blade and scythe ready to attack. "Run along, little ninja. We are only here for the bride builder's daughter and grandson. Just stay out of the way and you won't get hurt," said one of the men. "I can't let you by. It is my job to protect this family, and I will do just that," the clone said as he shot forward faster than the men could react. A few seconds later and both bodies lay headless on the ground before Naruto burned away the remains with the fire jutsu. Naruto and Sasuke were having a hard time keeping up with Haku's movements. Naruto was doing a little better than Sasuke, but since he wasn't using his Sharingan, he was still taking a few hits. Sasuke's body was littered with Senbon. He had tried to avoid each volley of Senbon, but most of them still connected with his body. He saw Haku preparing to attack him, and the blonde again. He knew he needed to get out of the Dome of Mirrors but didn't know how. That was until he felt the presence of two people outside the mirrors. As Haku launched her attack, Sasuke used the Kawarimi to switch places with one of the people outside the dome. Haku tried to stop her attack when she saw Sasuke disappear, but it was too late. The Senbon went flying through the air and struck the neck of Hinata. Naruto looked to the side expecting to see Sasuke, but was shocked to see Hinata fall backwards. He rushed over to her, completely ignoring Haku for the moment. He started checking her over and soon realized he couldn't feel a pulse. His shock quickly turned to anger. Anger that wasn't directed at Haku, but at Sasuke for using one of his friends as an scapegoat just to save himself. He activated his Sharingan, not noticing the change in his eyes. Just picture Madara's EMS. He was about to go and kill the Uchiha when the fox spoke to him. "Kid, she isn't dead. I can still sense her chakra and her heart is still beating, but just barely." The Senbon caused a death-like state. The ice user wasn't aiming to kill anyone. "Have the girl remove the Senbon since you could possibly harm the Hyuga by accident, while you go and deal with the Uchiha," Kurama said, getting a nod from Naruto. "Haku, our fight is over. Please remove the Senbon from Hinata-chan," Naruto said as Haku landed next to him. "I trust that you won't do anything to hurt her, Haku, just please help her. I have an Uchiha to deal with. Once everyone is focused on me, get Zabuza and Ichigo and leave. I want to talk to you three and offer you a place to stay. Meet me at the place where we first talked in 2 days at noon," Naruto said as he started walking out of the Dome of Mirrors. "Kit, your Sharingan is active. You need to deactivate it. What are you gonna do when the council learns of this?" the fox said. "No," he switched places with Hinata-chan just to save himself. "I will use everything I have to beat the shit out of him. As for the council, it can burn in hell for all I care," Naruto replied in a rage-induced state. As Naruto started walking towards Sasuke's chakra signature, his chakra started forming around his body. Soon, a bright yellow ribcage was surrounding Naruto along with a skeletal head and 2 arms. Think Itachi's skeletal Susanoo but yellow. As Naruto walked, the chakra coming from his body pushed away all the mist. Everyone could feel the power and looked to see where it was coming from. They all saw Naruto surrounded by the skeletal figure walking towards one was sure what was going on, but everyone stopped their fights to try and figure it out. Kakashi left Kurenai and Zabuza and rushed over and stood in front of Sasuke. Haku had pulled the Senbon from Hinata and made she would be alright. She landed next to Zabuza a few moments later. "Zabuza-sama, we should go. The blonde ninja said we should escape while the others are focused on him, and that he wishes to talk with us later about offering us a place to stay." Zabuza wasn't sure if he would talk with the blonde, but he was going to use this distraction to leave. They gathered Ichigo and made their way back to their hideout. As Naruto made his way towards Sasuke, his nails and teeth grew longer and red chakra started bubbling around him. Although no one could see the red chakra, the 3 Jonin knew what it was from. "Stand down, Naruto," ordered Kakashi. "Get the hell out of my way, Hatake. I want the Uchiha, not you," Naruto growled out. Kakashi moved towards Naruto but had to dodge a swing from the large skeletal arm. "Shikamaru, try and trap him with your shadow," Asuma said as the Nara made hand signs for his family jutsu. His shadow shot forward and connected with Naruto's, but he was just barely managing to hold him in place. Kurenai had moved over to check on Hinata. She used a quick medical jutsu, and Hinata started to wake up. "What happened, Kurenai-sensei?" Hinata asked as she sat up. "I'm not really sure, Hinata, but we will find out later. Right now Naruto is after the Uchiha," Kurenai replied as the two stood up and moved toward the other. Hinata watched as Naruto fought against the Shikamaru's shadow until he finally broke free from it. Naruto started moving toward the Uchiha again but stopped when he heard Hinata. "Don't do it, Naruto-kun. He isn't worth right now. I don't know what happened, but we will deal with it later," Hinata called out as Naruto looked back to her before closing his eyes and taking a deep breath. Once he opened his eyes, they're back to be his normal blue eyes and his teeth and nails were normal as well. He looked back at Sasuke before speaking. "Consider yourself lucky, team. Next time, I will end you and that's a promise." Naruto growled out before leaving with his team and Team 10 and heading back to Tsunade's house to rest and heal their wounds. Back in Konoha, Hiruzen sat in his office with another man sitting across from him. This man had a light yellow kimono jacket and light gray pants with a red scarf around his neck. He had dark brown hair and black eyes with hair tied in a low ponytail. "Thank you for agreeing to see me, Hokage-sama," the man said as he bowed his head to the Kage. "It is no problem, Shibuki-san. I remember our yandere and your father getting along really well, and he told your father that if he ever needed help, we would be here. The offer stands for you as well." Hiruzen replied. "Thank you, Hokage-sama. I will get straight to the point. My village is small and we do not have the power to deal with large threats. As I am sure you are aware, the Akatsuki have been moving around a lot lately in order to capture the Jinchuriki. We have a Jinchuriki in our village, Fu is our village's Jinchuriki. She holds the Nanabi, or the seven-tailed rhinoceros beetle. I would like for her to participate in the upcoming Chunin exams, and if she would like, stay so she can be better protected." Shibuki said, surprising Hiruzen. "You are going to hand over your village's Jinchuriki?" Hiruzen asked. "Fu is like a little sister to me. I am one of the few who didn't treat her like a monster. If it means keeping her safe, then yes, I will send her here to Konoha. No one here knows of her status, so that would give her a chance to actually make friends and act like a normal teenage girl. Please, Hokage-sama, I just want to make sure Fu is safe, and I can't do that in my village," Shibuki said, hoping Hiruzen will agree. Hiruzen thought it over for a few minutes before he decided. "Very well, Shibuki-san, I will agree to it only if she wants to. I won't force her to move here. We have our own Jinchuriki that was accepted by only a few people here in Konoha. He knows what it is like, and I'm sure he will help young Fu," Hiruzen said, getting a large smile from Shibuki. "Clearing, land of waves, they're here, Kit. Top of the trees about 100 east, probably waiting to see if anyone is with you and if this is a trap," Kurama informed the meditating blonde. "I am the only one out here. You three can come out now, I just wish to talk," Naruto shouted, and a few seconds later Zabuza, Ichigo, and Haku landed in front of him. "What do you want, Gaki?" Zabuza asked. "I want to offer you a place to stay. It isn't ready yet, but I will soon starting on rebuilding my clan's homeland. I could use ninja like you three," Naruto said as he stood from the ground. "And where is this homeland of yours?" Ichigo asked. "As far as I know, I am the last of the Uzumaki clan of Yuzushio. I wish to rebuild Yuzushio and restart my clan," Naruto replied, getting a wide-eyed look from Zabuza. "The last Uzumaki I faced was a red-haired woman from the royal line of the Uzumaki. After that I heard she was killed a few years later in the Kyubi attack on the Leaf Village. Do you know of her?" Zabuza asked. "Yes, she was my mother, Kushina Uzumaki. I am the last of the royal line. Once I rebuild Yuzushio, I can offer you a place to stay and work. You can become ninja of the village and leave this life behind you," Naruto explained. There was silence for a few minutes before Haku spoke. "What would be required of us, Naruto-san? Just your loyalty to Yuzushio and its Kage. If you accept, I do have a job for you three and you will be paid upon completion," Naruto said as he waited for an answer. The three ninja talked amongst themselves quietly for a few minutes before they turned back to Naruto. "We accept. So what do you need us to do?" Zabuza asked. "I want you to track down the swords of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. I know that Kisame Hashigaki has Samahata and I will deal with that. Collect the ones you can," Naruto said as he walked forward and handed Zabuza a scroll. He unrolled the scroll and saw a seal on it, and gave the blonde a questioning look. "That is a seal for my personal summons. Pump chakra into it, and my summons will appear. You can use it if you need to contact me for anything," Naruto explained. Haku walked forward and handed Naruto a scroll as well. "That is the money from Gato's place. When we left the bridge the other day, he was on his way with a bunch of bandits. We learned that he never planned on paying us and planned on killing us in the end, so we took him out and raided his place. We took enough to do us for a few months, but the rest of it is in that scroll," Zabuza said, getting a nod from the blonde. "If you don't need anything else, we'll be on our way then," Zabuza said. After getting a nod from the blonde, the three ninja took off into the trees. Naruto turned and headed back towards Tsunade's house, ready to finish the mission and head home. Konoha a day later, Hiruzen was looking out his window over the village he had sworn to protect. He heard the door open and could immediately sense who it was. "So what brings you back of all times, Jiraiya? We have a problem, sensei. The new village Otogekure has been interacting a lot with Suna lately. My spies have gathered information and I don't think you are gonna like it," Jiraiya said. Hiruzen lit his pipe before looking back at Jiraiya and motioning for Jiraiya to continue. "It seems Oto and Suna plan on invading Konoha during the upcoming Chunin exams, and the leader of Oto and the invasion is Orochimaru." Hiruzen sat at his desk thinking over the information that Jiraiya had just told him. His ex-student had his own village under his control and had talked Suna into joining him and invading the village. He knew his ninja were strong and could handle themselves. However, going against 2 villages alone, he was unsure of how much of a chance his village actually stood. "So what are you going to do, sensei? We have no idea what Orochimaru is after with this invasion. Jiraiya said. We will have the Chunin exams like planned and tighten security around the village. We will just have to try and figure out what his plans are before he can execute them. Go and see if you can gather any more information and report back as soon as you can. Hiruzen stated, getting a nod from Jiraiya before the Sannin disappeared. The Hokage sat thinking on what his possibilities were when an idea popped into his head. He was unsure if it would work or not, but he had to try. He bit his thumb and made a quick set of hand signs before placing his hand on the ground. Summoning Jutsu. In a poof of smoke, his personal summon, the Monkey King Enma stood before him. Hello Hiruzen, I sense no battles around, so what did you summon me for? Asked the large monkey. I need a favor, Enma. Orochimaru is planning on invading the village during the upcoming Chunin exams, and I need you to do something for me. Hiruzen said. You should have killed him that night, Hiruzen. It would have saved you all this trouble. What is it you need from me? Go and talk to Katsuyu and see if she can take you to Tsunade. I think it is time I retired once again, and Tsunade is the best choice I can think of. Even if she declines, the village could still use her help with the invasion. Hiruzen said, getting a nod from the monkey before her vanished in another poof of smoke. Yugakure, the village hidden in hot water. On the outskirts of this village, there is a small traditional Japanese-style home. In the backyard of this house is a blonde-haired woman with waist-length hair and brown eyes. In the middle of her forehead was a small blue diamond. This was Tsunade Senju. She was out walking around some flowers in her yard when she felt the familiar chakra of her slug summon, and another chakra signature that she knew but couldn't quite place. Tsunade-sama, someone is here to see you, spoke Katsuyu. Tsunade turned around to see her slug and a large white-furred money. After seeing the monkey, she immediately remembered the chakra. Enma, it is good to see you again. You too, Tsunade, it seems you are doing well for yourself. Enma said as he looked around the property. Actually, this is all thanks to my husband, Tsunade said. Enma's head immediately snapped back in her direction, and as he looked at her, he noticed a small silver ring on her left ring finger. You got married. Someone must have some balls to marry you, Enma said, not noticing the look on Tsunade's face. Enma, I think you just messed up, Katsuyu said. Enma looked back in her direction, but before anything else was said, Enma felt Tsunade's fist impact with his gut as he was sent flying over the house. Enma landed with a loud thud in front of two other females. He slowly stood up and looked at the two women. One looked to be in her mid-20s and had black hair and eyes. In one arm she was holding onto a small pig while the other was being held by the smaller girl. The small girl looked to be around 5 or 6, had brown eyes, and pale white hair that reached her mid-back. She looked like a smaller version of Tsunade to Enma. Come back here, you damn ape, I ain't finished with you yet. Tsunade started but stopped when she saw the other two females. Kaa-chan! The little girl yelled as she ran up to Tsunade. Hello Mito-chan, did you and Shizen have fun today? Tsunade asked. Yep, Shizanobu-chan even bought me ice cream. The now named Mito replied. Tsunade-sama, what is the Hokage's personal summons doing here? Shizen asked. I don't know, but he better start talking. Tsunade replied. I'll just let him explain, Enma said before he was surrounded by smoke. Out of the smoke walked Hiruzen until he saw the 3 girls in front of him. It seems Enma did find you after all. If it isn't too much trouble, Tsunade, I need to speak with you, Hiruzen said. Mito-chan, go with Shizen and play inside for a little bit, but I want to spend time with you, Kaa-chan. Mito replied. I know, Mito-chan, but right now I need to talk with Sensei. Your 2-sen will be home in a little bit, and then the 3 of us will spend some time together, Tsunade explained to her daughter. Mito nodded in response and left with Shizen. Tsunade turned to lead Hiruzen around back and motioned for him to follow. You seem to be doing good, Tsunade. It seems you finally decided to find someone and settle down with 2. You know, little Mito-chan looks a lot like you, but she's got the same hair color of another of my students, Hiruzen said with a smile as he sat down with Tsunade. We're all happy here, Sensei. Mito-chan is already studying medical ninjutsu with Shizen and I, and Jiraiya-kun is gonna start her own training in the next year or so, Tsunade replied. So you and Jiraiya settled down together, huh? How did that happen? We ran into each other in a small gambling town one day a few years back. At the time Shizen had gotten hurt really bad, and with my homophobia I couldn't help her. Jiraiya helped me get over it quickly, and after that, one thing led to another, and then we got married and settled down. Mito-chan came along 6 years ago, and we couldn't be happier. So what are you needing, Sensei? Tsunade asked, curious as to why the Hokage was here. Jiraiya informed me that Konoha is going to be invaded during the upcoming Chunin exams by Suna and Oto. The invasion is going to be led by Orochimaru. I am strong for being as old as I am, but I'm not sure if I will be able to survive this invasion, Tsunade. I would like you to consider returning to Konoha and becoming the Godame Hokage, Hiruzen explained. Tsunade sat there for a few minutes thinking it over quietly to herself. After a few minutes of silence, she looked at Hiruzen and spoke. I can't give you an answer just yet, Sensei. After Dan and Nawaki died, I vowed to never return. With having my family here now, I'm not sure I want to return to Konoha at all, Tsunade said. That is understandable, Tsunade. I'm not trying to force you to return or anything, but there is one family member you still have in Konoha. I know that the Senju and Uzumaki are distant relatives and Minato and Kushina's boy and Jiraiya's godson, Naruto, is still there. Even if you decide not to become the Hokage, stop by and visit sometime, Hiruzen replied. I'll talk to Jiraiya once he gets back and I'll give you an answer by Friday. That's all I can do for now, sensei. That's fine, Tsunade. The Chunin exams also start Friday, so this will give me time to get everything going before I receive your answer. Goodbye, Tsunade, Hiruzen said before he vanished as Enma reverse summoned him back to Konoha. A day later, Teams 8 and 10 were on the back of a large ice-blue dragons. It was a four-legged dragon with white wings, a long tail, 2 horns on its head and gold eyes. The two teams had left Wave Country close to 5 hours ago and was already about 10 minutes from Konoha. After flying for a few more minutes, the dragon began to descend and landed in front of the 2 gate guards as they stared in awe at the large beauty. After the 2 teams got off the dragon's back, the dragon began to shrink and turned a deep crimson in color. The dragon was now smaller than Naruto's arm and curled itself around his neck before lying down. Thank you for the ride, Neji-chan, Naruto said. Pretty sure Neji means rainbow in Japanese. It's now problem, Naruto-kun, Neji replied before falling asleep. How come you didn't bring Team 7 along, Naruto? Chuji asked. For 1, I don't like Team 7. For 2, Neji doesn't like Team 7 and I won't force her to carry anybody she doesn't like, Naruto replied as they continued on in silence. As the 2 teams continued their walk to the Hokage Tower, Ino spoke up, breaking the silence. What kind of dragon is Neji, Naruto? I noticed she changed the color of her scales a few times, Ino asked. She is my personal summons and is considered a very special dragon within the Dragon Clan. Once every 500 years, a dragon is born with the ability to use each of the 5 main elements, and if they train hard enough can even use some of the other elements like the ice release or lava release. Neji is the dragon that was born with that power this time around. When I signed the summoning contract, the first dragon that I summoned was Neji, and she vowed to be my personal summon. I have a sealing tattoo on my arm that I can use to summon her if I only need her at the time. The reason her scales change colors is because of the fact she can use different elements, Naruto explained as the group walked into the Hokage's office. The group of 7 ninjas stood before the Hokage and bowed to their leader. Mission complete, Hokage-sama. The bridge is finished and Gato is dead. Team 7 should return within the next day or 2 since Naruto's summon didn't bring them with us. We ran into 2 missing nin from Kiri and a hunter nin that was working with them. Kurenai spoke with a small smirk gracing her lips. Very well. You and your team shall receive A-rank pay for this mission. Kurenai, Asuma, Naruto, please stay. The rest of you are dismissed, Hiruzen said and waited for the others to leave before speaking. What about the rest of the mission? Asked Hiruzen. Kakashi seemed to train the 3 genin equally, but that may be because we were there. Naruto and Sasuke had a spar and Naruto put the Uchiha in his place. There was something that happened during the fight between us and the missing nin, but I'm not 100% sure what, Asuma replied. Hiruzen nodded before looking at Naruto. Did you reveal your bloodline? And do you know what happened? My team and Team 10 know about and promised not to tell anyone. I did end up using my Sharingan, but I don't think the Uchiha or Hatake saw it. According to what Kurama knows of the Sharingan, I unlocked the next stage of the Sharingan called the Mangekyo Sharingan, but because of the Fox's chakra, it was morphed into the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan without needing another set of Sharingan to transplant. When I unlocked the Mangekyo, I gained the ability to use the Susanoo, so I was behind it, so I don't know if they saw or not, Naruto explained. Who's Kurama? Kurenai asked. Naruto looked to Hiruzen, who nodded before Naruto spoke. Kurama is the name of the Kyuubi. We talk to each other, and he isn't like what everyone makes him out to be. I will explain more later. So what happened on the bridge? The Kage asked. Sasuke and I were fighting the hunter nin that was with Zabuza. The hunter nin went to attack Sasuke and he switched places with Hinata and she took the attack, Naruto explained. I'm sure Kakashi and Sasuke will go to the council when they return, so be expecting that, Naruto-kun. For now you 3 are dismissed, Hiruzen said as the 3 ninja left. Ino was walking towards her house thinking about the last mission. She knew she didn't like Sasuke anymore, but she wasn't sure what these feelings for her fellow blonde was, but she wanted to find out. She and Naruto were friends before she became friends with Sakura, and they started competing for Sasuke's attention. She started acting cold towards Naruto, and she had regretted that decision ever since. She continued her walk and noticed Hinata walking down the road towards her. She walked up to her and stopped in front of her. Hi, Hinata. I was wondering if we could talk later, Ino asked. It's about Naruto-kun, right? Hinata asked, getting a nod from the blonde. Hinata didn't like the idea of Naruto having to have more than one wife. She was hoping to keep Naruto to herself, but if it meant she could be with Naruto, then she would learn to share with whoever else that Naruto chose to be with. Come by the compound later tonight, and we'll talk, Hinata said before leaving the blonde and heading home. Naruto sat outside the council chambers waiting to be called into the council room. Just like he expected, the moment Team 7 arrived back in the village, the Uchiha went straight to the council. Sasuke was currently in the council room while he was sitting there waiting to be called in. Naruto-kun, they're ready for you now, Naruto turned toward the voice to find his adoptive sister Yugao in her Anbu attire. Thank you, Nico-chan. Naruto said as he stood and moved into the room. Walking into the room, Naruto saw the Hokage with the 3 elders at the back of the room. To the Hokage's right sat the ninja side of the council with the current clan heads. To the Hokage's left sat the civilian council with Sasuke at the end of the civilian side. Naruto walked in and stood in the middle of the room. Hokage-sama, Naruto said with a bow. Genin Uzumaki, you are brought here before the council today on charges that you attacked 2 fellow Konoha ninja during your last mission. We would like to hear your side of the story. Hiruzen said. Excuse me, Hokage-sama, but since this is a ninja matter, shouldn't only the ninja council be here? Naruto asked. On the outside, Hiruzen remained neutral, but on the inside he was smirking at how Naruto was handling this. That is a very good point, Genin. The Hokage replied, getting wide-eyed looks from the civilians. Hokage-sama, you can't be serious. We can't let this demon do this. It has to be the Q that was as far as he got before a sword erupted from his chest. Would anyone else like to break Hokage-sama's law? Nico asked. The civilians quietly made their way out of the council room while sending glares at Naruto as they left, leaving a fuming Uchiha behind. Alright, Genin Uzumaki, please tell us what happened. Hiruzen asked. Sasuke and I were in the middle of fighting a hunter nin that was with Zabuza and Ichigo. Hinata-chan and Shino were left to guard Tsunade. Hataki-sen and Kurenai-sensei were dealing with Zabuza, and Asuma-sensei and his team were dealing with Ichigo. During our fight with the hunter nin, the ninja decided to attack Sasuke. He switched places with Hinata-chan, and she took the attack instead of himself. Naruto said, causing Hayashi to glare at the Uchiha. After I found out she was still alive, I moved to attack the Uchiha, and Hataki jumped in the way. I never managed to touch either one. Naruto finished. Very well, thank you, Genin. Since we have heard both sides of the story and none of us want to be here any longer than necessary, do we find Genin Uzumaki guilty of the charges? Hiruzen asked and only received 2 votes from Hamura and Koharu. Genin Uzumaki, you are found not guilty of these charges. Everyone is dismissed. Better luck next time, team. Naruto said as he walked past Sasuke and out the door. As Naruto was walking down the stairs, he was stopped by the one person he never expected to be stopped by. Hello, Naruto. Do you have some time to stop by the compound and talk with me? Asked Hayashi Hyuga. Naruto sat in Hayashi's office in the Hyuga clan compound. Across from him sat the head of the Hyuga clan, Hayashi. The clan head's pale eyes seemed to stare right into Naruto's very soul. Naruto squirmed a little under the stare, while Hayashi let a small smirk cross his face. Calm down, Naruto. I simply wished to speak with you, Hayashi said, trying to get the blonde to calm down. No offense, Hayashi-sama, but what would the leader of the Hyuga clan need to speak with the demon brat for? Naruto said, only to be smacked in the head by a pencil thrown by Hayashi. I have never seen you as the Kyuubi, Naruto. I know the difference between a scroll and the kunai sealed within. First off, I want to thank you for looking after Hinata during your last mission, Hayashi said. I only did what any of her other friends would do for her, Hayashi-sama. You don't need to thank me, Naruto replied. Tell me something, Naruto. Do you know of your heritage? Hayashi asked. Yes, I am aware of who my parents are. I also meant your grandfather, Naruto, Hayashi replied, causing Naruto's eyes to widen. How do you know about my grandfather? Naruto asked, since only he, the Hokage, and Yugao were supposed to know. Me and my wife were friends with your parents since we were all in the academy together. Your father and I were even on the same Genin team when we started our career as ninja. Your father trusted me enough to tell me of his Uchiha blood and his father. Your parents also asked my wife and I to look after you if anything ever happened, Hayashi explained. Then where the hell were you when I needed someone there to help me? Naruto asked with anger in his voice. My wife died giving birth to little Hanabi-chan. I had to raise 2 little girls on my own, and sometimes things got out of control. I never forgot about you, Naruto. I talked to Yugao when you started living with her and sent her money to help support you until you became a ninja. Whenever you ate at Ichiraku's ramen, I paid your bill after you left. I never meant to ignore you, Naruto, and I'm very sorry, Hayashi explained with guilt clear in his voice. Is that all you needed, Hayashi-sama? Naruto asked. Right now he just wanted to go home and rest for the Chunin exams in 2 days. Just one more thing, how do you feel about my daughter? Hayashi asked, catching Naruto off guard with the question. Naruto was silent for a moment before he spoke. She is a really nice girl and a good friend. When I am with her I have this strange feeling and I'm not sure what it is. I know she has feelings for me, but I am planning on rebuilding my clan and that will require me to have multiple wives. Besides, she is heiress to the clan. She is needed here, and she would have to accept me being the Jinchuriki for the Kyuubi first. Give her a chance, Naruto. When Hanabi was born, the elders made a clan law that requires me to brand whichever of my children does not become the next clan head. During my time of grieving for my wife, I signed it without looking it over. I know Hinata would be happier with you than being clan head anyways. Just think about it is all I ask, and please keep this just between us, Hayashi said, getting a nod from Naruto before the blonde stood and left. Hinata was walking through her personal garden at the back of the Hyuga compound. A few feet behind her was the Yamanaka heiress, Ino Yamanaka. Hinata walked over to a bench that sat beside a koi pond and sat down watching the koi swim. What is it you wish to talk about, Ino? Hinata asked. I know you like Naruto, Hinata, and I am not trying to get in your way of getting him to notice you. Ever since he knocked me out of the way of that sword back in Wave, I have had a strange feeling when I'm around him. We used to be friends back before Sakura and I started chasing Sasuke. I don't know if the feelings I have are the same that you have for him, Hinata, but I want to find out. I'm sure you never dreamed of having to share him, but if my feelings for him are the same as your feelings towards him, then I at least want to try. At the very least, I would like to rebuild the friendship that Naruto and I had. I just wanted to let you know since you seem to be the closest to him, Hinata. Ino explained, waiting for the Hyuga's reply. It's true, I never wanted to share Naruto-kun, but it would be selfish of me to keep him to myself, and keep him from achieving his dream of rebuilding his clan. I don't even know if Naruto-kun would accept the feelings I have for him. I guess that is something we can find out together, and see if Naruto-kun would accept us. Hinata replied with a small smile, looking up at the blonde heiress who smiled in return. What did you see in the Uchiha anyway? Hinata asked. I truly don't know, Hinata, but whatever it was is completely gone now. Ino replied. The two heiresses sat there in the small garden talking for the next few hours. Naruto was walking down the street heading to Ichiraku's ramen in order to get some lunch. He had just restocked on his ninja supplies, making sure he had enough to do him for the Chunin exams that started tomorrow. Kurenai had explained what could happen during these exams, but Team 8 was still looking forward to taking the exams. As he continued along his walk, Kurama stopped him. Kit, that kid that you see as a little brother is in trouble. I can't tell how bad from here, but you need to move now. Kurama said, causing Naruto to stop moving long enough to get directions. Where is he, Kurama? Naruto thought back to the large bijou. Take the next right, then go straight for a couple minutes. Kurama replied as the blonde took off running in the direction of his little brother. After a few minutes of running, Naruto came upon the sight of Konohamaru being held by the shirt collar by some boy in a black bodysuit with some type of wrapped package on his back. Standing a few feet from them was a blonde-haired girl holding on to what looked like a large fan. Put him down before I force you to. Naruto growled out, causing the three to look in his direction. Naruto and I. Konohamaru said, happy to see the blonde. And what if I don't? What are you gonna do about it? Asked the boy. Naruto disappeared from their sight and reappeared standing with his back to the boy. If you want kids in the future, I suggest you put him down this instance. You all may be here for the Chunin exam since you're from Suna, but around here we don't pick on the Hokage's grandson. Naruto replied, causing the boy to freeze when he heard Naruto behind him and looked down to see a blade resting extremely close to his family jewels. Run along, Konohamaru. Naruto said after the boy put him down. Kit, we have another problem. I can sense two of my siblings in the village. One is in the tree to your right and is my youngest brother, the one-tailed tanuki, Shikaku. The other is on her way here and is the seven-tailed beetle, Chome. Kurama said, causing Naruto's eyes to widen slightly, that there were two more tailed beasts in the village. You can come out now, number one. Naruto said out loud before a red-haired teen appeared in a swirl of sand in front of the girl. So you have one inside you too. The redhead said, causing his siblings' eyes to widen at both the sight of their brother and the other Jinchuriki. Who are you? Naruto asked. I am Gaara, and this are my siblings Kankuro and Temari. What is your name? Gaara asked. I am Naruto Uzumaki. Take your siblings and go. Next time I report you to the Hokage. Naruto said as the three siblings left. Naruto stood there and waited for a few moments before another person landed in the area with him. The girl had short mint green hair with bright orange eyes and tan skin. She had a short sleeveless white midriff shirt with fishnet armor underneath. She had white armlets on both arms covering up to above the elbow with fishnet shorts, and a white short apron skirt over those. Hello, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. Can I help you? Naruto asked the girl with a smile, causing the girl to blush. My name is Fu. I thought I sensed someone around here that I knew. The girl replied. I take it you are here for the exams? Naruto asked, getting a nod from the girl. A clone popped into existence next to Naruto before his eyes became a deep crimson. Hello, Chome, Kurama said to the girl. Fu made a clone as well before her eyes became a deep green. Hello, Kurama-ne, Chome shouted as she tackled Kurama in a hug, causing the two teens to start laughing. So you're a Jinchuriki too? Fu asked, and Naruto nodded. Come on, I'll show you around the village and we'll talk. Naruto said, getting a happy smile from Fu before they walked off with Kurama and Chome dispelling the clones they were using. Out from behind a fence stepped three other people. The first was a female with red hair, glasses, and she was wearing a lavender uniform that exposes her navel, short black shorts, and long black thigh-high stockings with black sandals. The second person was a tall male, with spiky orange hair and red-orange eyes. He was wearing a pair of black pants, a tan shirt, and brown sandals. The final member was another male with short white hair, purple eyes, and sharp pointed teeth. He was wearing a purple shirt, blue pants, sandals, and a belt with water bottles attached to it. Did you hear that, Karen? He's an Uzumaki just like you, said the white-haired boy. Yes, I heard him, Suigetsu. I can't believe that there are more members of my clan still living. Karen said with a happy smile. Do you think he will be able to help me? Asked the taller male of the three. Karen turned and looked up at her teammate. I honestly don't know Yugo. But we will ask him and see. The only reason I can't help is because no one ever taught me any fuinjutsu. Hopefully he has had someone teach him, and can help. Let's go get us a hotel room and then we will ask him later, okay? Karen said, getting nods from her two teammates. Naruto was on his way to see his Gigi. He was sure that the Kage knew of the other two Jinchuriki, but he wanted to make sure. Naruto made his way up the stairs and knocked on the door to the Hokage's office, not having to deal with the secretary since it was after hours. After being given permission to enter, he walked in and closed the door. What can I help you with, Naruto-kun? Asked Hiruzen. Did you know that there are two other Jinchuriki in the village, Gigi? Asked the blonde. Hiruzen sighed and nodded before speaking. Don't tell anyone what I am about to say, Naruto-kun. Konoha may be invaded during some part of the Chunin exams. From what I have been able to find out from one of my students, the invasion is being led by Orochimaru, and will more than likely take place during the finals. The reason I am telling you this is because if something happens, I need you to try and hold off the Jinchuriki from Suna until help arrives. I know you have the fox backing you up, which is why I am trusting this mission with you. I promise, Gigi, I won't let anything happen. Naruto stated. The Jinchuriki from Taki may be staying with us after the exams are over. The leader of her village can protect her very well and said that if she would like to stay here, he is willing to transfer her to Konoha to keep her safe. Hiruzen explained. Go and get some rest for tomorrow, Naruto-kun. Just please be careful during the exams, the Kage said before the blonde left. Naruto was walking through the village on his way home when he noticed he was being followed. He took a few random turns and managed to lose them a couple of times, but they always seemed to find him again. He made his way to an empty training ground and unsealed his sword and turned around. I know you're there. Come out now, Naruto said out loud. A few moments later and out stepped Karen, Yugo, and Suigetsu. Who are you and why are you following me? Naruto asked. Please, we don't want any trouble. My name is Karen Uzumaki, and these are my teammates Yugo and Suigetsu, she said, introducing the three of them. You sense anything, Kurama? Naruto asked. The girl isn't lying, but there seems to be something wrong with the tall one, Kurama replied. What do you want with me? Naruto asked. We were hoping you were good at fuinjutsu because we need help, Karen said. According to the scrolls left by my mother, I am a sealing master, Naruto replied, causing Karen's eyes to widen with surprise and Yugo's with hope. My friend here needs help, Karen said, pointing to Yugo. He has two different sides to him. This side is calm and doesn't want to hurt anything. His other side is an enraged state, and all he wants to do is rampage and kill. We were hoping you could seal that side away. Naruto thought it over for a few minutes before nodding and unsealing his ink and brushes. Remove your shirt and lay down on your back, Naruto instructed. Yugo did as asked, and Naruto walked over to him. Naruto then began drawing an intricate seal across his chest. It took Naruto close to half an hour to make sure the complex seal was right. After he was finished, he made a set of hand signs before placing his hand on Yugo's chest. Uzumaki Whirlpool Seal. Seal, he shouted as the seal started to glow before moving to the one spot he had his hand. There, that will fix your problem, but I didn't completely remove it. The seal will keep all the rage and anger locked away, but you will still have all the strength you received in that state. To unlock the seal to use the power if you need it, just channel chakra into your fingertips and turn it counterclockwise, Naruto explained. Can we talk more after the exams? Karen asked as the blonde stood from his spot on the ground. I would like that, and I have some things to talk with you about as well. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to get some rest, Naruto said as he walked home. Naruto, Hinata, and Shino were on their way towards the academy where they were told the Chunin exams would start. The Genin were looking forward to the exams and hopefully becoming Chunin by the time the exams were over. As the three neared the academy entrance, they saw Kurenai standing there waiting on them. What are you doing here, sensei? I thought the senseis weren't allowed to be here, Hinata asked once the three were close enough. We're not allowed to see you all after you enter the academy. I wanted to wish you three luck in the exams and I hope to see you all do well, Kurenai said with a smile. We'll make you proud, sensei, count on it, Naruto said as Shino nodded before the three continued into the building. As they made their way to the second floor, they saw a group of genin trying to get into a room. Team 8 instantly knew that this was a genjutsu since they were only on the second floor and needed room 301. Deciding to leave the group alone, Team 8 made their way past them and continued up the stairs. As they neared room 301, Naruto felt a large amount of negative emotions. Kurama, you sense that? Yeah, I sense it too. I'll let you know in just a minute where it's coming from, replied the large fox, and Naruto and his team kept walking. When they entered the room, Naruto immediately started trying to locate the source of the negative emotions. He followed his team over next to Team 10 so no one would think he was being suspicious. Naruto stopped next to Hinata, but his eyes kept darting around the room full of genins. Kid, this isn't good. The source of the negative emotions is coming from the tallest member of the group of Kusan Ninja over there in the corner next to the Uzumaki girl and her team. I have sensed these emotions before back when I was still sealed in your mother. Kurama explained. Who is it, Kurama? Naruto asked. The snake Sannin Orochimaru. It would make sense that he disguised himself to be in the exams if he is trying to invade the village. Explained the Kyuubi, causing Naruto's eyes to widen. Shikamaru caught the small act and spoke up. You alright, Naruto? He asked, causing the others to look at the blonde. Naruto looked at the Nara and gave him a nod. Yeah, I'm fine, just saw a new friend I want to introduce you all to. Naruto explained as he made a set of one-handed signs to the Nara that he learned from Yugo. Stay here but be prepared for anything. Shikamaru gave a nod in understanding as he subtly pulled a kunai from his pouch as Naruto walked away. Naruto walked over to the group of Kusa and Sound Ninja. Hey Karen, you and your team have a minute? I want to introduce you to some of my friends. Naruto asked. Karen nodded as she, Yugo, and Suigetsu followed Naruto over to his friends. As the four got closer to teams 8 and 10, Shikamaru stepped behind the three to keep them from leaving. Naruto turned and faced the three with a deadly glare and a kunai in hand that made them look at him with worry. Why are you working with him? Naruto asked, just loud enough for the people in the group to hear. Working with who, Naruto? Karen asked. I can sense negative emotions and they are pouring off the tallest Kusa ninja over there. I know for a fact that a certain Sannin is going to make an appearance during the exams, so it makes sense if that was who I think it is. So I ask again, why are you working with him? Naruto asked again as the others just tried to figure out what was going on. Orochimaru is way stronger than we are, Naruto. He is forcing us to work with him, and we have no way to escape. We don't want to work with him, and if we had a way out, we would gladly take it. Suigetsu said, getting nods from Yugo and Karen. Can you tell if they are lying? Naruto asked. They don't seem to be, but just to be sure, use that seal you made a while back, replied the fox. I can offer you protection here. The Hokage will more than likely question you after the exams are over, but if you cooperate, I am sure he will let you stay here. Naruto said. If it means we can get away from that bastard, then I will do whatever it takes. Karen said, getting nods from the males of her team. Chakra covered Naruto's hand as he grabbed each of their wrists. This is just a safety measure in case you change your minds. Wherever you are, I can track you with that seal and I am the only one who can remove it. Naruto explained before turning to Yugo. Lift your shirt so I can see the seal I placed on you. Naruto said. Yugo did as he was told and Naruto's hand started glowing again as he moved his fingers in a few different directions over the seal. All you have to do now is focus a quick burst of chakra to seal and unseal your power now. Yugo nodded once more before the three left as Fu and her team walked over. What was that all about, Naruto-kun? Ino asked. Naruto unsealed 2 Hiraishin kunai and handed one to Ino and Fu. These are for emergencies only. If you need help, just throw this into the ground and I will be there instantly. As for you, question Ino-chan, I can't really say. Gigi made me promise not to say anything, but throughout this exam, be prepared for anything. 20 minutes later, Naruto was sitting down at a random seat taking the first part of the Chunin exam, a written test. He needed to get Ibiki's attention but didn't want it to seem like too suspicious. What are you gonna do about this, Kit? Well, first, I'm gonna tick off the Uchiha and get Ibiki's attention. I will let him know where Orochimaru is and hopefully he will be able to do something about him. Naruto replied. How are you planning on doing this? Kurama asked. Naruto just smirked as he watched Sasuke finish copying down the answers from one of the Genin in front of him using his Sharingan. Naruto grabbed his own test, stood up, and walked over to Sasuke. Ibiki watched this and was curious as to what the blonde was doing. Naruto sat his test down beside Sasuke and took Sasuke's test. When Sasuke started to yell at the blonde, Naruto grabbed the back of his head and slammed him face first into the table in front of him before walking back over to his seat. Uzumaki, give me one reason I shouldn't kick you out of here right now along with your team? Asked the proctor. You said that if we are caught cheating 5 times that we will be thrown out. That was only the first time I have even touched my test paper, which means it is the first time I was caught cheating. Naruto said as he erased Sasuke's name and wrote his own and started checking the answers. He then started making hand signs that he knew Ibiki could see. If anyone else tries that, you are out of here. Ibiki said as he watched the Uzumaki send him a message. Orochimaru is here in the room disguised as a Kusa ninja. 3 rows behind me, all the way to the left near the window. Naruto signed, getting a nod from Ibiki as he motioned for 2 ninja to move in. The 2 ninja approached the disguised snake Sannin and stood right behind him. Please come with us. We have some questions we would like to ask you. One of the ninjas said. Of course, was the Kusanin's reply. He stood from his seat and pushed in his chair. Before anything could be done, he spun around and kicked one of the ninja into the other and jumped through the window and took off across the rooftops with Leaf Ninja after him. Looks like he got away. Kurama spoke through the mental link. Yeah, but hopefully they can catch him before it's too late. Until then we will just have to watch our backs and be prepared for anything. Naruto replied, getting a mental nod from the fox. Forest of Death. Team 8 was hopping through the trees looking for a team that would hopefully have an Earth Scroll to pair with their Heaven Scroll. They had been in the forest for about 5 hours and had yet to run into any of the other teams. Fu and Ino still hadn't used the Haraishin kunai Naruto had given them, so he knew they weren't in any trouble. But with Orochimaru still around, he wanted to get the scroll they needed and get to the tower as soon as possible. Naruto, get out of the way now! Kurama shouted to the blonde. Naruto grabbed a hold of Ino and Hinata and pulled them both to the right just as a large snake landed where they were moments before. Shit, it's Orochimaru, Naruto said as he saw the snake Sannin land on the giant snake's head. So the QB brat is taking the exams too. Maybe I won't have to do too much to destroy Konoha after all, Orochimaru thought as he started making hand signs. Fire style, fire dragon jutsu. Orochimaru blew a stream of fire from his mouth that took on the form of a large dragon. The dragon then rushed forward toward the three genin. Naruto activated his Mangekyo Sharingan and jumped in front of his team. Susanoo! Naruto shouted as the yellow ribcage and arms grew around Naruto. This time though, the left skeletal arm had a shield in its hand and used it to stop the jutsu. Orochimaru was surprised to see one of the Sharingan's strongest techniques used by this boy. So you must have a Sharingan too. I thought Sasuke and Itachi were the only Uchiha left alive, but it seems I was wrong, Orochimaru said with a smirk. Perhaps I can use him to destroy the village and then just take his body after he tired and wore out. Guys, we have to get out of here. We can't take on a Sannin, Naruto said as he and his team started backing away from Orochimaru. Now we can't have you leaving just yet. Earth-style Earth Spears, Orochimaru called out. Teammates started to dodge the attack, but Hinata moved just a split second too late. She let out a scream of pain as one of the Earth Spear was stuck in her side. Hinata-chan/San! Naruto and Shino both called as they rushed to her side. Naruto bit his thumb and quickly went through a set of hand signs. Summoning jutsu, Naruto called out. There was a poof of smoke, and when it cleared, Neji and Akane were sitting there. What do you need, Naruto-kun/Sama? The two dragons asked. Akane, I gave a summoning seal to Zabuza Momochi back in Wave. Summon yourself to that seal and bring the female that is with them back to Neji's location. Tell them it is an emergency, Naruto ordered before the dragon nodded and vanished, and he turned to Neji. Neji, take Hinata-chan and Shino and get them away from here now, Naruto said as the young dragon started to grow big enough to carry the two ninja. You can't fight a Sannin by yourself, Naruto-san. You need help, Shino said. No, Hinata-chan is hurt and is the main priority right now. I will try and hold off Orochimaru as soon as I can. When Haku gets here, have her look over Hinata-chan the best she can. Now go and keep her safe, Naruto said as Shino nodded before picking up Hinata and jumping on the dragon's back. Kurama watched from within the seal as Naruto tried to control his anger. The large fox noticed a change in the blonde's chakra and tried to pinpoint the location. When found, it was coming from Naruto's eyes and was shocked to see his Sharingan begin to change. What used to be the Mangekyo Sharingan was now replaced with purple eyes with a ripple pattern. The Rinnegan, it can't be, Kurama said to himself when suddenly a figure appeared in front of him. Kurama looked down to see the figure of his father. Protect this boy, Kurama. He is destined for great things one day, stated the Sage of Six Paths before disappearing. Kurama started to shout for his father but was stopped by Naruto speaking. How many tails do you think I can control right now, Kurama? Naruto asked. With the training you have been doing for the past few years, I would say about 3 tails worth before it would start to consume you, replied the fox. Alright then, give me everything you can then. I am going to kill this bastard, replied the blonde. Naruto stood from the ground and stared directly at Orochimaru as red chakra began to surround him. In a matter of seconds, Naruto had a chakra cloak that resembled a fox with 3 tails. You died today, you son of a bitch, Naruto shouted. Fu and her 2 teammates were tree-hopping through the forest when a loud roar was heard. The 3 ninjas stopped and listened for a few minutes, trying to figure out if it was coming closer or not. Keigan and Yoro were talking to each other as Fu was talking to Chome. What the hell was that? Keigan asked. A bear or something maybe? The proctor did say there were large beasts in here, Yoro replied. Chome, do you know what that was? Fu asked the large beetle. That was Kurama and his Jinchuriki. That was quite a bit of demonic chakra that filled the air when we heard the roar. They may be in trouble, Fu, Chome replied as Fu nodded and a set of orange wings appeared on her back. Keigan and Yoro noticed this and grabbed her wrists. Where are you going, Fu? Keigan asked. That wasn't one of the beasts from this forest. That was a friend of mine and I am going to help him, Fu replied as she tried to pull her wrist free. We can't let you do that. This is a survival exercise and it is every team for themselves. Yoro spoke up, this time getting a growl and a glare from the mint-haired girl. Both of you are my friends and have treated me better than most of the others even after finding out about Chome. Right now my other friend may need help and I am going to help him. If you try and stop me, you will not like the outcome, Fu growled out at her teammates. The two looked at each other before releasing their hold on Fu. Fu started to fly off in the direction that Chome led her with her teammates right behind her. With Naruto and Orochimaru, Orochimaru stared at the chakra-cloaked Naruto in surprise. It wasn't surprise because he could use a small portion of the Kyuubi's chakra. No, it was surprise at the legendary eyes he was staring at. That's the Rinnegan, The only person I have ever seen with those eyes was Pain. I lost my chance at getting his eyes, but I will make up for it by getting these ones. Orochimaru thought with a smirk. He was brought out of his thoughts when he heard Naruto let out a loud roar before he rushed forward. Naruto appeared in front of Orochimaru in a burst of speed and swiped his claws at Orochimaru's face. Orochimaru quickly drew a kunai and blocked the claws before kicking the blonde away. Naruto flipped through the air before pushing off of a tree and flying back towards Orochimaru with his fist pulled back. Naruto swung his fist as Orochimaru brought his arms up in a cross block but was still pushed back a few feet. Naruto, I have faith in your ability as a ninja. But this is a Sannin you're fighting. I don't think you can win against him. The fox stated. I know I can't win. But that isn't going to stop me from buying Ino and Hinata-chan time to get away. Naruto replied. Naruto was brought out of the conversation when he had to dodge one of Orochimaru's earth dragons. Naruto flipped backwards to try and put some distance between him and the Sannin. Striking shadow snakes. Orochimaru called out while pushing his hand forward as snakes flew from his sleeves. Naruto quickly unsealed his mother's blade from a seal on his wrist and began slicing through the snakes. Naruto jumped up to a tree branch to get away from the snakes. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto called out as the area was surrounded by his clones. Some of the clones jumped at the Sannin as the others started going through hand signs. Orochimaru destroyed the clones as he looked back at the original and saw him and his clones each with a different elemental dragon. They sent their attacks at Orochimaru hoping to at least damage him a little. As the dust settled, Orochimaru came flying at the blonde aiming to cut him in half with the Kusanagi. Naruto brought up his katana and blocked the strike before he engaged the snake in a kenjutsu battle. Naruto blocked all of Orochimaru's attacks, but he knew that Orochimaru was holding back. Orochimaru made a shadow clone before they jumped away from Naruto as they made a set of hand signs. Fire style, fireball jutsu. Orochimaru called out as he shot a large fireball from his mouth. Wind style, great breakthrough. Orochimaru's clone shot a large blast of wind from his hands as the wind made the fireball increase in power as it flew at Naruto. Susanoo. Naruto called once again as the yellow skeletal form of the ribcage and arms appeared around Naruto with the large shield. The attack hit the shield and pushed Naruto back a few feet before the flames died out. Naruto looked around for the Sannin and was unable to find him. Below you, Naruto. Kurama said, causing Naruto to jump away just in time. Naruto jumped away to a nearby branch and made a few shadow clones. The clones rushed forward and as they got within a few feet of Orochimaru, Naruto called out his next jutsu. Shadow Clone Explosion. Naruto waited to see if his attack had done any damage as the dust began to settle. Naruto watched as the dust settled as Orochimaru came up from the ground with only a few scratches. Naruto grit his teeth and started to prepare another jutsu before he saw a vision of sorts of an attack he had never heard of before. Naruto jumped into the air and started falling straight for the Sannin. He was right over Orochimaru as the Sannin started to swing his blade into the air to impale the blonde. However, Naruto thrust his arm forward and shouted his attack. Almighty Push. Orochimaru was caught off guard as an invisible force exploded from Naruto's hand and drove the Sannin into the ground. Naruto kept pushing chakra into the attack in hopes of doing some damage to Orochimaru. After a few seconds of using the attack, the power died down until the attack had ended. Naruto looked at Orochimaru's body as his chakra cloak disappeared. Kit, behind you! Kurama shouted but was too late as Orochimaru bit down on Naruto's neck, leaving his curse mark. Orochimaru was sent flying when out of nowhere. Fu came flying in and kicked him off of Naruto. Get away from Naruto-kun. Fu growled out. I was just leaving anyways. Orochimaru chuckled as he sunk into the ground. Fu turned and knelt down beside Naruto just as her teammates and Neji appeared. What happened to Naruto-kun? Neji asked. I'm not sure. He was attacked by someone before I could get here to help. Fu replied. Fu, grab his hand and channel my chakra into it. I will see if I can contact Kurama and find out what happened. Chome said as Fu did as she was told. Everything went black for the large beetle before she found herself beside her older brother. So it seems that technique still works even after we have all been apart for so long. Kurama said. Kurama and I, what happened? Chome asked, worried about her brother and his Jinchuriki. We were attacked by the snake Sannin Orochimaru. The female of his team got hurt by the snake's attack and he tried to hold him off long enough for them to get away. Right before you all showed up, Orochimaru bit him and placed a curse mark on him which I am working on getting rid of right now. Have the dragon take you back with his teammates, and I will continue working on healing the kit. Kurama explained as he got a nod from his sister. Chome relayed everything she was told to Fu. Yoro and Kagen got Naruto onto the back of Neji as they all headed back towards Ino and Hinata. 2 days later, Naruto was woken up by the sun rays that were shining in his eyes. He rolled his head to the side to avoid the light as he slowly opened them to adjust to the bright light. He tried to move but noticed a weight on each side of his chest. Looking down, he saw Hinata's dark blue hair and Fu's mint green. He didn't want to disturb them, but they needed to finish this part of the exam and make it to the tower. Hinata-chan, Fu-chan, time to wake up, Naruto said as he gently shook the two girls. After a few minutes of shaking them, the two slowly sat up and started to stretch. Naruto couldn't help but admire how beautiful the two looked in the sunlight. After realizing who woke them up, they both wrapped Naruto in a hug. "Are you okay, Naruto-kun?" Hinata asked as the two females looked at him worriedly. "I am fine, Hinata-chan, I promise," Naruto said with a smile, getting a blush from both girls. "Did Haku already return to Zabuza?" "Yeah, after she healed my wounds the best she could, she checked over you before Akane took her back to Zabuza and Ichigo," Hinata replied. Just then Shino, Kagan, and Yoro walked over to where the three were. "It is good to see you are awake, Naruto-san," Shino said, getting nods of agreement from the other two. "I explained what all happened to them with the help of Chome, but I wouldn't tell them who that was. I didn't know if you wanted them to know yet or not," Fu said, getting a nod from Naruto. Naruto looked at Shino and Hinata before he let out a sigh. "I guess it's time I tell you all my biggest secret." Before Naruto could start his explanation, Team 10 landed in the clearing the others were in. Team 10 looked at everyone for a moment before Shikamaru noticed Naruto looked like he was about to say something. "Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt anything," the Nara said. "It's fine actually. Makes this a lot better since I won't have to explain it a bunch of different times," Naruto said as he made a shadow clone. "What's with the clone, Naruto-kun?" Ino asked her fellow blonde. Before Naruto answered, the clone's eyes turned a deep crimson and the whisker marks seemed to thicken. "What you all know about the Kyuubi being killed by the fourth Hokage is a lie. The tailed beasts cannot be killed, they are beings of chakra and can only be sealed away. I am the one the Kyuubi was sealed inside of," Naruto explained. "Hello children, my name is Kurama and I am the Kyuubi no Kitsune." Kurama introduced himself, getting shocked looks from the other ninja minus Fu. Naruto and Kurama spent the next hour or so explaining the events that had happened and how Kurama came to be sealed in the young blonde. At the end of everything there were different reactions. The girls each gave Naruto a hug as they did Fu as well after she explained her life too, and each of them now held some dislike for the villagers who treated the Jinchuriki badly. "That's enough time of sitting around," Naruto said as he stood up. "We still need to get our scroll and make it to the tower. That has already been taken care of, Naruto-san. While you were resting, Hinata-san and I along with Fu-san's team collected the scrolls we needed. We were just waiting on you to recover before we head to the tower," Shino explained in his monotone voice. "What about you three?" Naruto asked as he looked at Team 10. "We were on our way to the tower when we stopped to take a break and found you all. We got our scroll earlier today and wanted to get to the tower as soon as possible," Shikamaru explained. "Alright, might as well head out together then. It will give us a better chance if we run into anyone else so we don't lose a scroll," Naruto said, getting nods from the other genin before they all took to the trees and headed for the tower. Naruto stood in the middle of a small arena along with the other teams that had made it this far. Altogether, 9 teams had made it past the second part of the exams. As he looked around the area, he saw the senseis of each team standing above them on the walkways that went around the room. One sensei caught his attention more than the others. "You feel that, Kurama?" Naruto asked as he stared at the Odo Jonin. "Yeah, there's no doubt about it. That's Orochimaru alright. I guess he did get away after all." "What are you going to do?" Kurama asked the blonde. "Nothing for now. There are too many people here, and we have no idea of what he has planned right now. Just keep an eye on him for now, and if you notice anything let me know," Naruto said, getting a mental nod from Kurama. "Welcome to the second half of the second part of the Chunin exams. There are 9 teams here, which means we have 27 of you hoping to become Chunin. Now before we can continue on with the exams, we have to lower the number a bit, so we are going to hold a round of preliminary matches. One of you will get a bye to the next round since we have an uneven number of participants. If your name doesn't appear on the board behind me, please go to the walkways to watch the match." Hate explained in between coughs, an electronic board starting running through names until it stopped on 2 random names. All but the 2 whose names were shown moved out of the arena to watch the match. Naruto leaned on the rail next to his sensei as Hinata, Fu, and Ino joined him. "Who do you think will win, Naruto-kun?" Hinata asked, even though she was sure she knew the answer. "Shino has this one. Sakura never really liked bugs, and if she still hasn't gotten over that then she already lost," Naruto replied with a smile. Back down on the floor, Shino stood staring at Sakura. "It would be wise for you to surrender, Sakura-san," Shino said in his normal monotone voice. "I ain't quitting, so bring it on," Sakura replied as she threw 2 kunai at Shino, who easily dodged to the right. He raised his hand as a swarm of insects flew from his sleeve at the pinkette. Sakura dodged the insects and started to throw more weapons at Shino until she saw a few of his insects on her hand. She started comically throwing her hands around trying to get the bugs off her, getting a round of laughter from some of the other contestants. While Sakura was distracted, Shino sent out another wave of insects that grew into a large cloud of bugs that floated over the girl. "Surrender now, Sakura-san, before I let my insects descend," Shino said. Sakura looked around for a few moments trying to find a way out but couldn't. She hung her head as she raised her hand and surrendered. Both genin jumped out of the arena to watch the next match. The next few matches weren't much to watch. The first match had Fu and Lee against Kiba and Zaku. Fu and Lee quickly put an end to the match with Lee's speed and Fu's water jutsu. The next match could hardly even be called a match. It was Yugo versus Yoroi, with Yugo winning. Yugo knew what nature chakra could do to someone who couldn't control it, so when Yoroi started absorbing Yugo's chakra, Yugo just allowed him to do so until Yoroi was turned to stone, making Yugo the winner. Everyone watched as the board shuffled through names again. When the names were chosen, Hinata and Naruto were both unsure of what would happen. The next match was Hinata versus Neji. Naruto knew that Hinata was strong in her own right, but with being injured by Orochimaru just a few days ago, he was unsure if she could handle it or not. Hinata started walking down to the floor but was stopped by Naruto. Hinata-chan, are you sure about this? I know you are strong, but can you handle it with what happened with Orochimaru? Naruto asked, worried. I have to try, Naruto-kun. I won't run from Neji anymore. Hinata replied with a smile, getting a nod from Naruto. Just be careful, Hinata-chan. Naruto gripped the rail hard enough to bend the metal slightly as he watched the match. Hinata started out putting up a good fight against her cousin. But then the injury she suffered from Orochimaru started bothering her. She struggled to defend against Neji's attacks, but she refused to back down. He watched as Neji insulted her and continued to attack non-stop, slowly gaining the upper hand. He watched Neji charge up chakra in his fingers for another attack as Kurama spoke to him. Kit, stop him now. There is enough chakra in that attack to kill her. Kurama shouted, causing Naruto's eyes to widen before he disappeared from his spot using the Shunshin. Neji was about to connect with his chakra-infused fingers when he was kicked in the side of the head and sent flying into the wall. As Naruto landed, his eyes shifted from their normal blue to the Rinnegan. Universal pull, Naruto said as he held his hand up to Neji. Neji was pulled from his spot against the walk straight for Naruto. Naruto grabbed him by the neck and spun and planted Neji in the wall beside him. Neji-sensei Might Guy landed behind Naruto. That's enough, Naruto. Naruto paid Guy no attention as he stared as the wide-eyed Hyuga. You try and harm Hinata-chan again, and I will make sure you pay. You better hope I am not your opponent next time, Naruto said as he tossed the Hyuga at his sensei. He then picked up Hinata and carried her as the medics led him out of the area. Naruto walked back into the fighting area about half an hour later. The first thing he saw was the two Oto males yelling and hitting their female teammate. As the bandage-wrapped ninja went to strike the girl again, Naruto appeared behind him and caught his wrist. You aren't supposed to hit women, Naruto said as he walked in front of the girl. She is an Oto ninja, this doesn't concern you, brat, spoke the disguised Orochimaru. Naruto looked over his shoulder at the scared look the girl was giving him. Do you want to stay in Oto? If you want, I can give you protection here in Konoha under my clan? Naruto asked, getting a nod from the girl and shocked looks from her teammates. Naruto started walking but stopped next to Orochimaru. You better watch your back, Hibi team. I am sure Hokage-sama knows you are here, so you know it's me. How did you find out? Orochimaru asked with a small smirk on his face. I have the QB sealed within me. I can sense negative emotions, and the ones coming from you now are just the same as from the forest. You harm anyone I care about, and you will not leave alive, Naruto replied before placing his hand on the Oto female's shoulder and using the Shunshin to appear next to Kurenai. Sensei, can you get Nico-chan for me? Naruto asked. Kurenai raised an eyebrow but nodded her head. She vanished and reappeared a few minutes later with Nico. Naruto turned to the sound ninja and spoke. What is your name, Kintsuchi? Kin replied. Naruto smiled at the girl as he spoke. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. This is my adopted big sister. I need you to go with her and tell her everything you can about Orochimaru. Nico stepped forward, causing Kin to step back in fear. Would it help if I send a shadow clone with you? Naruto asked, getting a nod from Kin. Naruto made a shadow clone and Kin instantly grabbed his hand before Naruto turned to Nico. I can take her to the TNI department. Will you let Gigi know Orochimaru is here as the Oto team sensei? Naruto asked, getting a nod from Nico before the three vanished. So what fights did I miss? Naruto asked. Sujetsu won against Kin, Karen won against Chuji, and Shikamaru won against Masumi, Ino said as they all turned back to the arena. So that leaves 11 of us left to fight, Naruto said mainly to himself, and one of them is Shikaku's host. You and Komiai's host are the only two who stand a chance against him, so if he does fight, it had better be against you, Kit, Kurama said from his mind, getting a nod from the blonde. How is Hinata-chan? Fu asked. She will be fine. She has some bruises and a few scratches from how hard Neji was attacking, but she will be fine with some rest, Naruto replied, getting a nod from the mint-haired girl. Naruto stood watching the match between the two competitors. After he had returned from taking Hinata to the medics, Temari had faced off against Dosu and had pulled off a win over the sound Genin. Now, it was Sasuke against Kabuto. As Naruto watched the match continue, he noticed that something was off. Something isn't right, Naruto said mainly to himself, but got his remaining team members along with Ino and Fu to look at him. What do you mean, Naruto? Kurenai asked with a raised eyebrow. Kabuto is stronger than this, I can sense it. He is looking at Sasuke like he wants to kill him, like he could kill him. Instead, he is just taking a beating while trying to make it look like he is putting up a fight, Naruto replied. Shouldn't we tell someone then? Ino asked. It would do us no good. We have no proof that he is holding back and letting Uchiha-san win. Shino replied in his monotone voice. The others just returned to watching the match. After about another 10 minutes, Sasuke was declared the winner and both genin moved off the floor. As the names were cycled through, Naruto just hoped that Gaara's name wouldn't be picked. I need Naruto Uzumaki, Ino Yamanaka, Tenten, and Kankuro to come down please. Hate announced from the arena floor. Gaara will automatically advance to the finals. You ready to do this, Ino-chan? Naruto asked as he looked to his fellow blonde. As ready as I'm gonna be. I guess it's time to see if that training you have helped me with has done anything for me. Ino replied as the two blondes jumped over the railing and landed in front of their opponents for the match. So how much are you going to show of your power, kit? Kurama asked as Naruto stared at the two genin in front of him. Nothing on the scale of the Rasengan, or your power just yet. I need a few surprises to keep for later. Tenten uses weapons so a few wind jutsus should be able to handle her attacks. I don't know what the puppet user is capable of so we'll just need to be careful with him. Naruto replied. You can sense that the one in front of you isn't the human, right? Kurama asked the blonde. Yeah, I already noticed it. Naruto replied before turning his attention to Hate. Begin, Hate announced before moving out of the way. Naruto unsealed the kunai and threw it at Kankuro as soon as the match started. Kankuro dodged to the side before staring at the blonde. Why don't you quit hiding behind your puppet and play with the rest of us? Naruto asked. The wrappings on the bundle on Kankuro's back came undone to reveal another Kankuro before the first one turned back into the puppet. So you managed to see through the hinge. Not bad. Kankuro replied as he moved his fingers and the puppet started shooting Saban at the blonde. While Naruto was dodging the Saban, Ino was dodging sword strikes from Tenten as she pushed the blonde backwards. Ino knew that Tenten was skilled in weapon use and that she needed to get some distance between her and the weapon user to launch her own attack. She blocked another strike from Tenten's blade with a kunai as she was pushed backwards once again. As she was sliding back, she made a set of hand signs and finished just as she came to a stop. Lightning style, electromagnetic murder. Ino pushed her hands forward as lightning shot from her hands and flew at Tenten. Right as the lightning was about to strike, Tenten jumped above it and threw a few kunai at Ino as the blonde dodged to the right. Kankuro saw Ino jump towards Naruto and saw Tenten preparing her scrolls for some sort of attack. He pulled his puppet back to him, getting a confused look from the blonde. Backing down already? Naruto asked. I would just rather keep my puppet from getting hit by a stray attack. Kankuro replied with a smirk. Before Naruto could reply, he heard Tenten shout out behind him. Twin rising dragons. Naruto spun around to see Tenten start raining down weapons over Ino. Naruto ran towards Ino as he made two shadow clones that unsealed his mother's scythe from a seal on his wrist. The two clones stood in front of the two blondes and began spinning the scythes in an attempt to block the weapons that were coming from Tenten. Seeing one of the clones get dispelled, Naruto started making his own set of hand signs. Just as the last clone popped, Naruto released his jutsu. Wind style, great breakthrough. Naruto blew out a large gust of wind that knocked the other weapons out of the way and pushed Tenten back next to Kankuro. Thanks, Naruto-kun. Ino replied as she stood next to her fellow blonde. No problem. Can you charge up another electric jutsu? Naruto asked. Yeah, why? Ino replied as she and Naruto both started making hand signs. When my jutsu connects, launch yours. Water style, Hydra destruction. Naruto said as he slammed his hands to the ground as 5 water spouts erupted from the floor. The 5 spouts joined together to take on the form of a creature with 5 heads. The heads of the creature launched forward and started striking at the other two genin. Tenten and Kankuro started dodging the water attack as well as they could. After a few minutes of dodging, both genin were struck by one of the 5 heads and held in the mouth of the creature. Lightning style, electric strike. Ino called out as she clapped her hands together and sent a bolt of lightning flying at Naruto's jutsu. The lightning struck the water, shocking the two genin trapped in the attack. After a few seconds of holding the jutsus, Naruto and Ino both released them only for Kankuro and Tenten to fall to the floor unconscious. After Tenten and Kankuro were taken by the medics, the genin that advanced to the final were all lined up in front of the Hokage. You have done well in making it this far in the exams. You will all have 1 month to prepare yourselves for the finals. Hiruzen started. Will we know who our opponents will be? Suigetsu asked. Not until your time to participate in the finals. This way you all will have to train hard and work on different ways of not only beating 1 or 2 people, but each of the winners in today's matches. You have 1 month to train and get as strong as you can to represent your village and try to obtain the rank of Chunin. I wish you all the best of luck. Hiruzen finished as he turned and left as each of the remaining ninja started heading back to the village. It had been 3 days since the start of the month-long training period for the genin who were still in the Chunin exams. Naruto had done some training in his Mindscape with Kurama and had learned that he had unlocked 2 out of 7 paths of the Rinnegan, the outer and Deva paths. Kurama had explained what he knew of the Rinnegan from what he knew of his father using it. Kurama had told him that the Almighty Push and Universal Pull were part of the Deva path, and Naruto had learned he had chakra chains that were part of the outer path's abilities. He was currently walking down the streets on his way to the Hyuga compound to speak with Hayashi. As he made it to the gates, he was stopped by the guards. "May we help you?" one of the guards asked. "I need to speak with Hayashi-sama if he is available," Naruto replied. One of the guards walked inside the gate and returned a few minutes later. "Hayashi-sama is busy at the moment but said if you would like, you can wait in the gardens and he will be with you as soon as he can," the guard replied, getting a nod from Naruto as the blonde made his way into the compound. As he sat by the koi pond waiting for Hayashi, he sensed someone watching him from nearby. He turned his head slightly and out of the corner of his eye he saw a young girl with dark brown hair that reached down to her mid-back. He realized that this must be Hinata's little sister Hanabi. "You know, it's not nice to stare at people," Naruto said as he watched Hanabi jump at being caught. A few moments later, and she walked over next to where he was sitting. "Who are you?" Hanabi asked, curious as to this person was. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki. You must be the little firecracker that Hinata-chan is always talking about," Naruto replied with a smile to the young girl. "I am not a firecracker," Hanabi stated with a pout, getting Naruto to chuckle a bit. "Why are you here?" "I came to talk to your father about Hinata-chan," Naruto replied. "What do you need to talk about Hinata for? She is weak and can't do anything. She can't even beat me during one of our spars," Hanabi said, causing Naruto to get upset that Hinata's own sister was putting her down. He saw Hayashi walking toward them and the older Hyuga must have heard what his youngest had said by the look on his face. Naruto met his eyes and the two shared a silent conversation with Hayashi nodding a few seconds later. "You know, Hanabi, your sister isn't as weak as everyone thinks she is. Have you ever thought that there is a reason that she always loses to you?" Naruto asked. "What would she have to gain from losing to me?" Hanabi asked, interested in why her older sister was always losing. "She does it to protect you, Hanabi," Naruto said, getting Hanabi to look at him. "What I tell you cannot be talked about outside of us. Only your father, sister, and I know about this. When your father was coping with losing your mother after you were born, the elders got him to sign a paper saying that he had to brand whichever one of his daughters didn't become clan head." Naruto started getting a shocked look from the young Hyuga. "Your sister knows about this and had decided that she would rather get the branding herself instead of seeing you go through that pain. That is why she chooses to lose to you. So she can protect you in any way she can." Naruto finished and saw tears coming from the girl. "But I don't want Nei-chan to have to be branded either," Hanabi said through sobs. "And she won't. Your sister has feelings for me and I'm not completely sure yet, but I may have feelings for her as well. I am planning on rebuilding my own clan and Hinata will be able to marry into my clan and won't have to worry about either one of you being branded, and you will be the clan heiress," Naruto explained before Hanabi tackled him in a hug and started saying thank you over and over. "Run along now, Hanabi. I need to speak with your father." Hayashi waited until she was gone before walking out. "That's the happiest I have seen her in a long time, thank you, Naruto-kun. What is it you need to talk about? Is Hinata-chan able to travel yet?" Naruto asked. "Yes, the Hyuga doctors have already healed her." "May I ask why?" Hayashi asked, confused. "I am going to talk to Gigi and see if I can go to Yuzushio. I want to visit my homeland and there are a few people that I want to take with me," Naruto said, getting a look of understanding from Hayashi. "Want to show the girls that may help rebuild your clan where your clan started." "It is fine with me, Naruto-kun, if Hokage-sama permits it," Hayashi said, getting a smile from the blonde. "Yeah, there are a couple other girls that may like me that I am going to take with me if they are allowed." "Thank you, Hayashi," Naruto replied with a bow before running off. Naruto was hopping from rooftop to rooftop heading for the Hokage Tower. He wanted to talk to him and find out if he could go and visit his homeland. He knew the old man would probably let him as long as one of the Jonin accompanied, and he knew who he wanted to accompany him. As he made it to the Hokage Tower, he jumped up the side of the building and stopped at the top floor window to the Hokage's office and stepped inside. "Good evening, Naruto-kun. What can I do for you today? Shouldn't you be out training?" Hiruzen asked as he turned to look at Naruto. "I have been training Gigi," Naruto said as he tapped the side of his head. Hiruzen nodded in understanding as Naruto had told him before of being able to train in his Mindscape. "I actually came to ask you about something," Naruto said, getting Hiruzen to raise an eyebrow. "What do you need, Naruto-kun?" asked the elderly Kage. "I want to take a few people and visit Yuzushio," Naruto said, getting a look of surprise from the Kage. "I understand it is your homeland, Naruto-kun, but why do you want to visit Yuzushio? As far as I know, no one has been there since the attack all those years ago," Hiruzen said, getting a nod from the blonde. "I understand that, Gigi, but I want to visit it anyways. I just want to see what it is like and show the girls where my clan comes from. Please, Gigi," Naruto asked his grandfather, hoping he would be allowed to go. After a few minutes, Hiruzen sighed and pulled out a piece of paper and a pen and nodded his head. "Very well, Naruto-kun. How long do you plan on being there? Who's going with you? And which Jonin do you want to go with you? I am wanting to stay till a couple days before the exams since I can get everyone back with my summons pretty quick. I want Hinata, Ino, Fu, and Karen to go with me if they can, and I don't want a Jonin to accompany us. I want the Sannin standing in the corner in the shadows," Naruto said as he pointed to one of the corners of the room, causing Hiruzen's and the Sannin eyes to widen. A few moments later and a man stepped out of the shadows. He was a tall man with waist length, spiky white hair usually tied back into a ponytail, with 2 shoulder-length bangs that framed both sides of his face. He also had red lines that ran down from his eyes and wore a horn forehead protector with the kanji for oil. He wore a green short shirt kimono and matching pants, under which he wore mesh armor that showed out of the sleeves and legs of his outfit. His outfit was completed with handguards, a simple black belt, traditional Japanese geta, a red haori with 2 simple yellow circles on each side, and a scroll on his back. "How did you know I was there?" asked the man, who was shocked that he was noticed. "I have pretty good sensing abilities, Kyufu," Naruto said, shocking the two even more. How do you know I'm your godfather?" Jiraiya asked. "My mother and father left me scrolls on just about everything they could. One of the scrolls from my mom explained that my godfather was Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin, and not to let him corrupt me with his ways. I have seen you around the village a few times, and from that point I could sense you out if I needed to," Naruto explained before turning back to the Hokage. "I wouldn't say I am going to be on speaking terms a whole lot with him since he was never around. But he did train my dad, and I would like it if he will help me as well." Naruto finished. "Very well, Naruto-kun. Karen has finished telling us what she could of Orochimaru yesterday, so she can go along with Ino and Hinata as long as their parents allow it. Fu isn't under my command, so it is entirely up to her if she wants to go along." "When do you want to leave?" Hiruzen asked. "Tomorrow morning. I need to make sure the girls can go." "Meet about 10 at the gates?" Naruto asked, turning to Jiraiya, who just nodded. "Alright then, see you all later," Naruto replied before jumping out the window. Jiraiya watched him go for a few moments before speaking to his sensei. "I really screwed up, didn't I, sensei?" "In a way, yes. But you had a wife and daughter to look after and the spy network to run. Naruto is a forgiving person, just try to make it up to him and be there for him from now on. Until he has a family of his own, you are all he has left, Jiraiya." Hiruzen replied as Jiraiya nodded and disappeared in a shunshin. Naruto, Jiraiya, and the 4 girls were on the back of Igneel as he flew them towards their destination. The girls were wondering where they were headed since Naruto hadn't told them yet. They had been flying for about an hour now and had just made it to the ocean. About 30 minutes later, and they saw an island in the distance. As they made it to the island, Igneel landed and let each of the ninja climb off his back. "Thank you, Igneel," Naruto said as he turned to the dragon. "Anytime, Naruto," Igneel replied before vanishing in a poof of smoke. "What is this place, Naruto-kun?" Karen asked as she looked around the beach they had landed on. "This is Yuzushio, our homeland," Naruto replied, getting wide-eyed looks from the 4 girls, especially Karen. "What are we doing here?" Fu asked as the group started walk down a path that lead into the forest. "I wanted to visit my homeland and I wanted you girls to come along. I figured Karen-chan would like to see where the Uzumaki came from as well," Naruto replied with a smile. As they continued walking, Kurama spoke up, getting Naruto's attention. "Kit, do you sense that? There is someone else here. They are trying to hide their presence, but I can still feel them." "Yeah, I sensed them a few minutes ago. I don't sense any negative feelings from them, but it would be best to stay on guard," Naruto said, getting a nod from the large fox. As the group continued walking, they came to a large wall that was a bit higher than the wall surrounding Konoha. There was a large gate in the middle of the wall. As they started to continue forward, Naruto sensed the chakra signature jump out of the trees towards them. He quickly unsealed his katana and spun to block a swing from the attacker. The attacker was a man that stood about 6 feet tall, had brown eyes, and red spiky hair that reached down to his shoulder blades. He was wearing a set of deep red battle armor and a pair of ninja sandals and appeared to be in his 30s or 40s. "I don't know who you are, but you will not step foot inside that gate," the man said as he prepared to fight. "There's something about this guy," Naruto thought as he stared the man down. "His chakra feels almost like an Uzumaki. It may be possible that he is another Uzumaki kit," the fox stated as Naruto's eyes slightly widened. "What is your name?" Naruto asked as the rest of his group watched but were ready to help if he needed it. "My name is Toshiro Uzumaki." "What is yours?" the now named Toshiro asked. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki, son of Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze," Naruto replied as Toshiro's eyes widened before he dropped to the ground and bowed to Naruto. "My apologizes, I thought you were here to break into the gate. I had no idea there were any other Uzumaki left, especially of the royal line," Toshiro replied. "Please do not bow, I don't really care for things like that. We are the only 3 Uzumaki left," Naruto said as he gestured to Karen. "I am planning on rebuilding the clan and there will be no royal and branch lines," Naruto said as he turned back to the gate as Toshiro walked up next to him. "I have never been past the gates, so I have no idea what lies beyond this. I could never bring myself to open the gate, afraid of what I will see if I did," Toshiro said, getting a nod from the blonde. Naruto stepped up and saw a seal on the door that he recognized as a blood seal. Using his blade to slightly cut his palm, he pressed his bloody hand to the door as the seal began to glow. "Let's see what lies beyond this, shall we?" Naruto asked as the gate started to open. The gates slowly opened to reveal a road leading from the gate and up a hill. On both sides of the road were wide open fields with what looked to be the remnants of barns or some other building. In the distance above the hill, they could see part of a single tower standing above the hill. That is the Yuzushio Tower. I am surprised it is still standing after all this time, Toshiro said as the group continued walking down the road. How did you know I was from the royal line, Toshiro? Naruto asked. My family were part of the Yuzukage personal guard. I had met Kushina-sama when my father had took me to meet the family I would be protecting when I was old enough. Your mother would have been the next Yuzukage, and now that position is rightfully yours, Toshiro explained. The group neared the top of the hill and could see more partially standing buildings. As they made it to the crest of the hill, the group stopped when they saw the village. The streets had the remains of ninjas scattered all through the village. As the group continued on into the village, they noticed some of the metal plates from headbands were from Yuzushio, while others were from Kumo, Iwa, and Kiri. As the group of ninja continued to look around what was left of the bodies, the 3 Uzumaki members were growing angrier. Most of the remains of the Yuzu ninja still had old rusty kunai and swords stuck in the bones that remained. Why are Kiri, Kumo, and Iwa headbands here? Fu asked. Yuzushio was a strong village due to the use of fuinjutsu and kenjutsu. The village was on its way of becoming the 6th hidden village of the elemental nations. Before that happened though, Kumo, Iwa, and Kiri grew afraid of what the village would become capable of and attacked Yuzu. A few from our clan managed to escape and find shelter elsewhere. Even though Yuzushio lost in the end, we still took down a large portion of 3 of the great villages with us, Toshiro explained to the mint-haired girl. Shadow clone jutsu. Naruto called out as 200 clones appeared. Gather the remains and bring them back to the field. Naruto ordered as he turned and headed back to the fields they had passed. About an hour later and everyone was gathered at the fields. The remains that the clones were able to gather of people from Yuzu were laying on the ground while the remains from the other 3 villages were piled in a spot away from the others. Naruto and one of his clones stepped forward and both began a set of different hand signs, Earth style, splitting earth. Naruto said as he placed his hands on the ground as the earth began to split and swallow the Yuzu people's remains. Fire style, fireball jutsu. The clone called as he launched a fireball at the other villages' remains, burning them out of existence. Everyone was silent as the 3 Uzumaki took a moment to silently say farewell to their clansmen. When that was done, Naruto turned and led everyone back into the village and towards the Kage Tower. As they walked, they looked around the village. Some buildings were completely destroyed while others still had a couple walls standing. It would take a while, but Naruto knew he could rebuild the village. Do you know what all is in the Kage Tower? Jiraiya asked as they neared the building. The Kage office is at the very top while there are rooms for meetings and such throughout the other levels. The vault is in the basement, which is protected by a blood seal that reveals a hidden staircase to get to the basement. The tower was protected by some of the best seals that Yuzushio had, so the tower should still be intact, Toshiro explained to the white-haired Sannin. As the group of ninja made it to the Kage Tower, Toshiro walked forward and bit his thumb, drawing blood, and swiped it across the door. A seal started to glow for a few moments before the glow died down, and Toshiro opened the door. Once the group made it inside, Toshiro walked over to one of the walls and swiped more blood across a small section. An outline of a door appeared and then the wall moved back and to the side, revealing a staircase. The ninja followed it down and came to a large open room that was filled with stacks of money and coins, causing all except for Toshiro's eyes to widen. That's a lot of money, Karen stated as the others just nodded in agreement. The Uzumaki saved their money and only used it when they needed to. They made the vault like this so no one would be able to find it unless you knew what you were looking for, and even then you had to get past the blood seal, Toshiro told them as he led them back up the stairs they came down. Once everyone was out of the stairway, the door sealed itself shut once again. Toshiro then led them up the stairs towards the Kage office. They stopped at a few rooms on the way up just to see what all was inside. They made it to the office and walked in to find the place a giant mess. Chairs and other furniture items were broken and spread across the room. Holes littered the walls and papers were everywhere. Look around and see if you can find anything important, Naruto said as the group started looking around. Naruto noticed a seal on the side of the desk and studied it for a couple minutes. After making sure it wasn't trapped or anything, Naruto swiped blood across it, and a large black scroll appeared. Naruto unraveled it, and saw that it was a summoning contract. As it was looking it over, some of his blood dripped on the scroll and he was gone in a poof of smoke. The others noticed him disappear and started to freak out before Toshiro stopped them. Relax, this is the summoning scroll that each of the Yuzukage have signed. Naruto must have dropped some blood on the scroll and the summons reverse summoned him back to their realm. We will just have to wait for him to return, Toshiro explained as he looked over the scroll. Where the hell am I? Naruto asked out loud as he looked around the room he was in. You are in the spirit world, young Uzumaki, a voice said behind Naruto, causing him to turn around. There he saw 6 large beings staring at him. Spirit world, got it. May I ask who you are and how I got here? Naruto asked. I am known as the winged dragon of Ra. The red dragon is known as Slifer the sky dragon, the tall blue one is Obelisk the tormentor, the large dragon said, pointing to the 2 on his left before motioning to his right. The red-winged dragon is Uriya, lord of searing flames, the gold one is Hammon, lord of striking thunder, and the blue one is Raviel, lord of phantasms. And for how you got here, we brought you here. RA finished. But why did you bring me here? Naruto asked, confused as he looked at each large being. We have been the Uzukage summons since the first Uzukage took office. We haven't had a summoner for quite some time. When your blood dropped on the scroll, we could tell that you were from the royal line as your blood had the same feeling as our last summoner, meaning you were related to the last Uzukage. That means that we are now your summons, Slifer stated. I am glad you all would like me to be your summoner, but I already have a summoning contract with the dragons. Naruto replied to the double-mouthed dragon. The 6 summoning creatures shared a look before they all nodded. Will you please summon the Dragon Clan's boss? RA asked as Naruto nodded. The blonde bit his thumb and made a set of hand signs before slamming his hand to the ground. Summoning Jutsu. Naruto called, and in a large poof of smoke, Igneel was there. What can I do for you, Naruto? Igneel asked. We asked him to summon you, Igneel-san. RA spoke, getting Igneel to look at the gold bird-like dragon. RA-san, how may I help you? Igneel asked. We would like for Naruto to sign our contract, but he said he has a contract with the dragons. We were wondering if it would be alright with you if Naruto was to sign both contracts? RA asked, getting a shocked look from Naruto. I have no problem with that. It will help Naruto if any of the dragons are unavailable. As long as Naruto is fine with it, then so am I, Igneel said before bowing to the other summons and Naruto before disappearing. So what do you say? Obelisk asked. I would be honored to sign the contract, Naruto said with a bow as the scroll appeared before him. Only the Uzukage and his family can sign this contract. Once you start your family, they too will be allowed to sign the contract and summon us, RA said as Naruto finished signing the contract and nodded in response. A second later, and the young blonde was gone in a poof of smoke. Naruto reappeared back in the Uzukage office in a poof of smoke. The others looked at the blonde as he looked around. What happened, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked. I got another summoning contract, Naruto said with one of his fox-like smiles causing the 4 girls to blush slightly. Naruto bit his thumb and slid it across the summoning tattoo that he had on his arm, causing Neji to appear. Hello, Naruto-kun, what can I do for you? Neji asked. I need you to summoning yourself to the seal that I gave Zabuza and have him meet me in Wave tomorrow. If they are too far away to make it be tomorrow, then will you please bring them and meet me at Tsunade's house? Naruto asked. Of course, Naruto-kun, Neji said before she disappeared. What are you going to wave for Naruto? Jiraiya asked. I am going to rebuild Yuzushio, and I know just who to ask to help rebuild the buildings. I should only be gone for a couple days and then I will get started on my training. While I am gone, will you help the girls with their training? Naruto asked the Sannin, getting a nod in reply. Naruto then left to get some money to pay Tsuna for the supplies and work if he accepted the job. The next day Naruto was walking through the small town that had been saved from Gato's grip. He took the time to stop and talk with the little kids that was running around the town as he made his way to Tsunade's house. As he walking up the dirt path to Tsunade's place, he heard 3 people land behind him and felt Neji wrap herself around his neck. Glad you all could make it, Naruto said as he continued walking. So what do you need, Gaki? Zabuza asked as they followed the blonde. How many of the swords have you been able to find? Naruto asked. We have all of them except for Samahata, Kabutawari, and Hiramakarei. Kisame has Samahata and one of the Mizukage's ninja has the Hiramakarei. I haven't been able to get any leads on the Kabutawari though, Zabuza replied, getting a nod from the blonde. In about 3 weeks I need you in Konoha. Orochimaru is planning an invasion and I don't plan on letting him accomplish destroying the village. After that you can resume your search for the blades, Naruto said. So what are you doing back in Wave, Naruto? Haku asked. I came to ask Tsuna if he would build the buildings for Yuzushio. Like I said when we first met, I am going to rebuild Yuzu and I thought I would ask Tsuna to help, the blonde replied to the ice user. The group continued on in silence for the rest of the short walk. As they made it to Tsunade's house, Naruto walked up and knocked on the door. After a few moments of waiting, Tsunami came and opened the door. When she saw who it was, she immediately pulled him into a hug. Naruto, it's good to see you again, Tsunami said. It's good to see you too. How have you been? The blonde asked. I have been good. Everything is doing so much better since you all took care of things. Dad, Inari, come here, Tsunami said. A few seconds later and Inari and Tsuna came in from the kitchen. Naruto and I. Inari shouted as he tackled Naruto in a hug. Hey Inari, old man. Naruto replied with a smile. I told you I'm not old, damn it, Tsuna said as he shook Naruto's hands and nodded at the other 3 ninja. What brings you around, Naruto? I came to ask you for some help, Naruto said as he unrolled a scroll and placed it on the tabletop. After pumping some chakra into it, the money was unsealed and everyone's eyes went wide except for Naruto. I am going to rebuild Yuzushio and I need someone to build the houses and other buildings. You interested? Naruto asked. You know I'll help, Naruto, but this is way too much, Tsuna said. Keep it, Tsuna. I have a whole lot more back in Yuzushio. Use it for the 3 of you or use it for the village, Naruto replied. It will be a few days to get everything gathered up and ready to go. But I will be there in about a week and a half, Tsuna said. Neji, can you help bring everything to Yuzushio? I'll summon a few other dragons to help and we'll just get everything done in one trip, Naruto asked the small dragon. Of course, Naruto-kun. Neji replied as Naruto pet the top of her head. It had been a month since the preliminary matches for the Chunin hopefuls. Hiruzen was currently making his way to the Kage box to start the finals of the Chunin exams. He knew that Orochimaru was going to make a move sometime today, he just didn't know when or where he was currently at. As Hiruzen continued on his walk, he looked down in the stadium and frowned at not seeing Naruto and the girls standing down there with the others, and also noticed that Sasuke was late as well. Are you sure he is going to be here, Jiraiya? Hiruzen asked to seemingly no one. Jiraiya appeared out of the shadows from behind his sensei and stood next to the aged Kage. He had returned to Konoha a few days ago to prepare for the invasion. He and Tsunade were hiding in the shadows waiting to help their sensei at a moment's notice if they were needed. He'll be here, sensei. He and the girls trained hard for this over the last few weeks, and they won't miss this chance. They all have gotten a lot stronger. Jiraiya replied, getting a nod from Hiruzen as he continued on his way. As Hiruzen arrived at the Kage box, he saw the Kazekage sitting in one of the seats. The two Kage bowed to one another before Hiruzen turned to the stadium. He gave a short speech welcoming everyone to the exams and trying to buy Naruto a few extra minutes to show up. After he was done, he motioned for Genma to take over as the Kage sat down. Welcome to the finals of the Chunin exams. The matches will continue until one of you are knocked out, I call the match, or one of you are killed. If I call your name, stay here while the others move to the competitor's box. Genma stated before looking at the clipboard he held onto. First match is Sasuke Uchiha vs. Gaara. Genma said, getting a sadistic look from Gaara as they looked around for Sasuke. After not finding the Uchiha, Genma turned to his leader silently asking for what he should do. It would seem Sasuke forfeits. Hiruzen said as he stood. Couldn't we just give him a few extra minutes, Hokage Dano? The Kazekage asked. No, we can't. If he was to be late during a mission that he was leading or anything of the sorts, it could result in his team being killed. There is no room for anything like that. Hiruzen said as he turned to the audience. Sasuke Uchiha is not here, so he loses by forfeit. Move on with the next match, Hiruzen said, getting angry protests from the crowd and causing the disguised Orochimaru to get angry. Next match is Naruto Uzumaki vs. Neji Hyuga. Genma called out as Neji walked down to the stadium floor. They waited for a few moments for Naruto to show up, but he didn't seem to be around. Just as Genma went to declare Neji the winner, a loud roar was heard from the sky above. Everyone looked up to see a large, golden bird-like dragon hovering over the stadium. The ninja of the village prepared to jump into action should the need arise. 5 figures jumped from the large creature and landed in front of Genma as the creature disappeared in a poof of smoke. We're not late, are we? Naruto asked as looked at Genma. No, but you were cutting it pretty close, Naruto. Genma said, looking at the blonde. Your match is now, and it's against Neji. A large smirk appeared on Naruto's face as he looked at the Hyuga prodigy. Something about that smirk seemed to unnerve the Hyuga slightly, but he shook it off and got ready for the fight. Be careful, Naruto-kun. Hinata said as she and the other 3 girls each gave him a quick kiss on the cheek. Hinata then disappeared in a shunshin and into the crowd as Karen, Ino, and Fu moved to the competitor's box. Neji looked Naruto over for a few moments. Naruto now wore standard black umbu pants with a kunai and shuriken pouch on his right leg, a black shirt with an orange Uzumaki swirl on the back with mesh armor underneath. He had on a normal pair PF ninja sandals and what looked to be a card case hanging around his neck. The card case is what concerned Neji the most. He could sense the power that was coming from that case and wondered what it was. You should give up now, Uzumaki. You have been fated to lose. Neji stated, getting the blonde to chuckle. And lose the chance to beat your ass for what you did to Hinata-chan. I'm going to enjoy kicking your ass all over this place and show you that even the so-called losers are capable of winning against prodigies. Naruto replied, getting into a stance as Neji did the same. Naruto should just give up now. He can't win against Neji. Tenten said from her spot in the stands. Naruto won't even last 5 minutes against him. Sakura said, sitting next to the bun-haired girl. You both are wrong. Naruto-kun has this 1-1. Hinata said, getting the 2 girls to look at her. How can you say that, Hinata? Neji is a prodigy. Sakura said, getting a nod of agreement from Tenten. Hinata is right, Neji won't beat Naruto. Neji is a strong individual, but Neji is too arrogant and thinks he is better than Naruto. Hinata and Naruto have been on the same team and have trained together since the academy, and because of that, I have seen Naruto's progress. Naruto may not have had a lot of people helping him during his younger years, but Naruto is a prodigy in his own right. Hi, she said from behind Hinata, getting the 3 girls to look back at the clan head. Father, Hanabi-chan. Hinata said as she hugged the 2 before looking back at the stadium floor. The 2 competitors stood still, staring each other down for a few minutes. Naruto slowly brought fingers together in the cross seal and formed 5 clones. The clones rushed forward and began attacking Neji. After about 5 minutes, each clone was dispelled and Naruto seemed to be deep in thought. He is a lot quicker than your mate Kit. Kurama said through the mental link. I know. Even though Hinata-chan helped me train for this, I still don't know if he has any tricks other than the Juken. Naruto thought back. How much damage can you heal before it would take you more than a few minutes to fix me? I can restore a few chakra points at a time, but if he closes too many, it will take some time to reopen them. Kurama replied, getting a nod from Naruto. What is that Baka doing? He can't win just by sending in clones while he just stands there. Sakura said, getting a nod from Tenten. He is planning. The Shadow Clone Jutsu sends the memories of the clones back to the original once they are dispelled. He is using the clones to gather information before he attacks. Kurenai explained from her seat behind the Genin as they continued to watch. Naruto rushed forward to deliver an uppercut to Neji's chin only for the Hyuga to sidestep it and move to close one of his tenketsu. Naruto stopped the attack by knocking the Hyuga's wrist up before kicking Neji in the side, sending him back a few feet. Neji glared at Naruto before rushing forwards to try and close Naruto's tenketsu. Neji managed to land a few decent hits as Naruto attempted to dodge. Naruto jumped back a few feet as he felt his tenketsu being reopened. Naruto closed his eyes as he focused chakra to his eyes, activating the Rinnegan. Neji looked on in shock at the rippled eyes of the blonde ninja before focusing back on the fight. Are you sure it is wise to reveal your Rinnegan so early? Kurama asked container. I need to save as much chakra as I can for the invasion and fighting Gaara. The best way to do that is to end this quickly. Naruto replied, getting a mental nod of agreement from the fox. As Neji rushed forward, Naruto could see his moments much more clearly as he was able to dodge each attack that Neji threw at him. As Naruto dodged one of Neji's palm strikes, he flipped onto his hands and pushed his feet up into the Hyuga's chin, sending him flying into the air. Neji landed a few feet away with a painful thud before pulling himself into a standing position. Those eyes, what are they? Neji asked. My Kekkei Genkai. Naruto said with a smirk as he unsealed the trikunai from his wrist. He threw the kunai into the air and made a quick set of hand signs. Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu. The one kunai turned into 30 as they rained down on the arena floor. Neji looked around as none of the kunai landed near him before turning to Naruto with a smirk. I know none of them even came close, Neji. I wasn't aiming for you that time, Naruto said before making another set of hand signs. Fire style, fire bullets. Naruto called as he spit balls of fire from his mouth, causing Neji to dodge to the right. Naruto went through another set of hand signs before spitting out more bullets made of water this time. Neji jumped back and landed next to one of the kunai without noticing. Planning on just launching jutsu at me, Uzumaki? No, I just needed to get you into place first, Naruto replied. Neji started to ask what he meant but was stopped when Naruto disappeared from his view in a flash of orange. Neji activated his Byakugan to try and find him but noticed Naruto behind him too late. Naruto delivered a spin kick to the back of Neji's head, sending him flying. Before Neji touched the ground, Naruto disappeared in another flash and delivered a powerful punch to his cheek before vanishing again. Naruto reappeared once again but was sent flying back when he hit a dome of spinning chakra. The three main house members looked on in shock at what Neji just used. I was unaware that Neji and Isen knew the Kaiten, Hinata stated as she looked to her father. That just goes to show you that Neji is indeed a smart ninja. That technique would not have been taught to him since he is a branch house member, so he must have learned it on his own. Hayashi said. Well, I wasn't expecting that to happen, Naruto said as he stood up only to find Neji in front of him. You are within the field of my divination. Neji started getting Naruto to inwardly smirk as he charged his body with right-un chakra through his body. Neji started striking at Naruto with his chakra-coated fingers, intending to close off his chakra points. 8 trigrams 64 palms. Neji yelled at Naruto was launched back through the air. Neji-san shouldn't know that move, it a main branch only technique, Hanabi said as she watched the match. Like I said, Neji is a very smart individual. He has proven that by learning 2 of the Hyuga's most prized techniques completely on his own, Hayashi said. Naruto hit the ground and rolled a bit before coming to a stop and standing up. If it wasn't for your Rinnegan being able to see his moves and the right-un chakra, you would have had a few more tenketsu closed than you do now, Kurama stated. How are you still standing? Neji asked. I channeled right-un chakra through my body, giving me a slight speed boost to avoid most of your strikes. Do me a favor, will ya, and look down, Naruto said as he pointed at Neji's feet. Neji looked down just in time to see a fist break through the ground and punch him right in the chin. Neji fell to the ground unable to move. Genma checked on Neji before standing and declaring Naruto the winner. The medics came and got Neji, and Naruto began his walk to the competitor's box. Do you sense that, Kurama? Naruto asked. No doubt about it, Kit. The snake is here, Kurama said as he went quiet for a few moments. Kit, this isn't good. The person dressed as the Kazekage is Orochimaru, so that's how he plans on starting the invasion. We will have to warn Gigi, Naruto replied, hurrying up the stairs. Naruto made his way over to the Konoha Genin, Fu, and Karen's team and away from the Sand Genin before he closed his eyes in concentration. He opened them a few moments later when he found who he was looking for. What's going on, Naruto-kun? Fu asked, placing a hand on his shoulder. He just motioned for her to wait as he flared his chakra 3 times. A few moments later, an Umbu Nico arrived. Is everything okay, Ototo? You only signal me like that if something's wrong, Nico replied. You need to get to Gigi now, Nei-chan. That is Orochimaru disguised as the Kazekage, Naruto said, shocking everyone. Nico started to move before Shikamaru stopped her. Nico, tell him not to stop the exams. If we stop the exams now, civilians and the nobles will get caught in the fighting. We need to slowly get everyone out of here without raising suspicion. Shikamaru said as Nico vanished. What do we do now? Lee asked, being serious. The only thing we can do for now. We wait. Naruto replied, looking back at the arena floor as Genma called the next two competitors. Genma watched as the medics picked Neji up and carried him out of the arena and to the infirmary. After everyone was off the field, he called out the next two names. Karen Uzumaki and Shikamaru. Nara, please come down. Shikamaru muttered a quick troublesome before walking down the stairs. Karen started to follow but was stopped by Naruto. Don't let Shikamaru fool you, Karen-chan. The boy may be lazy, but he is a genius and can come up with different plans on the spot, Naruto told her before giving her a kiss on the cheek, causing her to blush lightly before leaving the area. That was a good fight, Naruto-kun. And I see that you listened to what I said about giving them a chance. A voice said from behind Naruto. Naruto turned to find the clan head of the Hyuga clan standing there with a smile on his face. Thank you, Hayashi, and nothing is official yet. The four just simply admitted what they felt for me. What are you doing up here? I was on my way to see Neji, and thought I would stop by and congratulate you on your win. I also just wanted to tell you that better you treat my daughter right, since it would seem you and the four girls have grown closer. Hayashi said, glaring at the young blonde. I would never let anything happen to either of them, Hayashi. Naruto replied, getting a nod from the clan head as he turned and left. As Naruto turned back to the match, Karen and Shikamaru stood staring at each other for a few minutes. Suddenly Shikamaru's shadow shot forth, and Karen jumped back to avoid being trapped. His shadow is a lot quicker than it was a month ago. Karen thought to herself before she started making hand signs. Earth style, Earth rampage. Karen called out as she stomped her foot to the ground, causing pieces of the earth to spike up and move toward the shadow user. Shikamaru made his own set of hand signs as his shadow rose up in front him. Shadow wall. The earth spikes hit the shadow wall and was stopped. As the shadow wall was lowered, Shikamaru didn't have any time to block the kick that connected to his head, sending him rolling along the ground. He came to a stop near a tree as he closed his eyes to think of a plan. A few moments later, and he pulled a kunai from his pouch and attacked it to his vest before throwing it into the air. He launched his shadow out, and Karen was shocked to see it get extra reach and connect with her own shadow. Shikamaru managed to get his shadow connected. It should be over with now, Asuma said as he lit a cigarette. Karen-chan has a few tricks up her sleeve, Asuma-sensei. Don't count her out just yet, Hinata said with a small smirk. Shikamaru walked forward, which was copied by Karen. He stopped standing about 20 feet away from the red-haired woman. Shikamaru reached down to his right leg and pulled out a kunai, thankful that Karen had her kunai pouch strapped to her left leg. Do you want to quit or should I throw it? Shikamaru asked. I don't plan on quitting today, Shikamaru, Karen replied. Troublesome. Shikamaru sighed as he threw the kunai with the rounded part, aiming to knock the Uzumaki out. He and everyone else except a few were shocked to see some type of chain shoot out of her back and stop the kunai mid-flight. A few more chains appeared and joined the first one as they moved towards the Nara. Shikamaru released his jutsu and jumped back. Proctor, I forfeit. Even with my shadow possession, I can't win with you having those chains, the Nara explained before he started walking back towards the stands. Winner, Karen Uzumaki, Genma said as the two exited the field. As Naruto and the others waited on the next match to start, Naruto felt a small chakra signal and vanished in an orange flash. He reappeared on the top of the stadium walls next to Zabuza, Ichigo, and Haku. When is the fighting supposed to start, brat? I didn't come all this way for nothing, Zabuza said. It won't be long. Orochimaru is here disguised as the Kazekage. If I had to guess, the invasion will start during the fight between me and Gaara, Naruto said as he watched what was supposed to be a match between Rock Lee and Temari that ended with Lee knocking Temari out as soon as the match started. Have you been able to find the last sword yet? Naruto asked as he watched Ino and Suigetsu walk onto the field. Not yet, and we haven't had any leads on it either. Someone may have already found it, and has it with them. If that is the case, then it could be anywhere, Zabuza replied as the blonde looked at him. Or it could be right there, Ichigo said, pointing back to the arena where Suigetsu was now wielding the Kabutoari. At least we know where all of them are now. I will talk to Suigetsu later about the sword. When the fighting starts, protect any of civilians and help them get to safety. Any Oto and Suna ninja are fair game. I have already told Gigi you three would be here, so the Leaf Ninja know not to get in your way or stop you, Naruto said, getting a nod from the three before he vanished. Naruto reappeared in time to see Ino surrender as Suigetsu had the large sword near her neck. Fu walked up next to Naruto before speaking. Where did you go, Naruto-kun? I was talking to Zabuza and the others. Who's next? Naruto replied. You are. Shino-san forfeited. He said his bugs wouldn't attack me because of Chomei and her yokai. Lee won very quickly against Temari, and Suigetsu just won against Ino-chan. And since there isn't anyone left for Yugo to fight, he gotta buy this round, Fu explained. Naruto Uzumaki and Gaara Sabaka come down, called Genma. Gaara vanished in a swirl of sand as Naruto turned to his friends. Be ready, guys. Whatever Orochimaru is planning will most likely happen during this fight. Naruto said, getting nods before he vanished in a swirl of leaves and appeared in front of Gaara. As Genma started to begin the match, Sasuke and Kakashi appeared back to back in a swirl of leaves. We're not late, are we? Kakashi asked. Yes, you are. Sasuke forfeited his match, and we have already moved on, so get off the field so we can begin the next match, Genma said. Kakashi and Sasuke looked at Gaara before turning to the blonde. I demand your spot in the exams, dope. Give it to me, Sasuke demanded. Go fuck yourself, Uchiha. I have a match to get to and you and Kakashi need to get the hell out of my way, the blonde replied. Come on now, Naruto, Sasuke is better suited to fight Gaara than you are, so just give him your spot, Kakashi said. In the stands, Asuma was doing his best to hold Kurenai back from making her way down to the arena and attacking the silver-haired Jonin. Calm down, Kurenai. Dad won't let them get away with this. I don't care, I have had enough of that bastard talking bad about my student, Kurenai said, trying to get out of Asuma's grip. Naruto turned to the Kage box and looked up his grandfather before speaking. Hokage-sama, permission to fight the Uchiha for the place to continue in the exams? Naruto asked. Very well, Naruto-kun, permission granted, the Kage replied. Care to give me about 5 more minutes, Gaara? Naruto asked the redhead. Gaara just nodded before leaving the field. Naruto turned back to Sasuke and took off in a burst of speed and connected his knee with Sasuke's gut before punching him in the face, sending him rolling across the ground. Get up, Sasuke, I want to finish this quickly so I can get on with my match, Naruto said with his Rinnegan active. I am an Uchiha. I am the elite of this village. I am part of the greatest clan Konoha has ever had, and you are just some orphan. When I am done with you, I will take those girls that follow you around and I'll start with that Hyuga bitch. You will never beat me, Sasuke said as he activated his Sharingan. He was hoping to anger Naruto and cause the blonde to mess up and act rash. He had succeeded in angering the Uzumaki, but not for the best. You think you are an elite? The Uchiha clan had very few elites. Itachi, Shursui, and Madara were some of the best the Uchiha clan has ever had. And just so you and everyone else know, I am not an orphan. I have a clan, 2 actually, and I am not the only remaining person in said clans. There is me, Karen-chan, and another member of the Uzumaki clan that isn't here right now, and unfortunately I also still have you here, Naruto said. What does me being here have to do with anything? Sasuke demanded. I am part of the Uchiha clan as well as the Uzumaki clan. I am the son of Minato Namikaze Uchiha and Kushina Uzumaki. I am the grandson of Madara Uchiha. I am Naruto Uzumaki Uchiha, Naruto said, getting shocked looks from all of those that didn't know. Soon an uproar was heard from various people who didn't believe the blonde. It was all put to a stop when Hiruzen stepped up. What young Naruto said here today is indeed the truth. Naruto is the son of the 4th Hokage and the red-hot habanero as well as the grandson of Madara Uchiha, Hiruzen said. Sasuke refused to believe any of what was said and decided to rush in. Naruto had a smirk on his face that wasn't missed by Kakashi. The silver-haired Jonin went to stop his student but was stopped by Genma. Don't even think about interfering, Kakashi. Your student brought this on himself, and from what I have been told, Naruto deserves to let out some anger. Sasuke kept trying to hit the blonde, but Naruto either avoided his attacks or parried them. After a few minutes of Sasuke attempting to hit Naruto, the blonde ducked under a punch and connected with an uppercut to the Uchiha's chin. Naruto then jumped up and delivered a spinning kick which sent Sasuke flying across the field a good distance. Sasuke slowly stood up and made some hand signs before grabbing his wrist as lightning surrounded it. That bastard taught him that jutsu, Kurenai said in shock with wide eyes. What is that jutsu, Asuma-sensei? Tenten asked. It is an assassination jutsu made by Kakashi. It is known as the Chidori, Asuma explained. Don't worry, Naruto-kun will be fine, Hinata said. Naruto watched as the chakra was gathered in Sasuke's left hand as lightning started crackling around it. So he learned Kakashi's famed Chidori. Will you be able to heal me if it hits? Naruto asked. From what I saw when I was sealed inside Kushina when Kakashi used this around her, this version is nowhere near what it should be capable of. As long as he doesn't hit any vital spots, I can heal you no problem. Why do you ask? Kurama replied, wondering what his container was up to. I'm gonna get up close and personal, and show him what an A-rank jutsu is, Naruto replied, smirking on the inside and outside. When Sasuke finished gathering his chakra, he shot forward at Naruto. Said blonde shot towards the Uchiha as well. As the two ninja neared each other, Naruto stepped slightly to the left so the jutsu would miss his vital areas. The crowd went silent as Sasuke's hand pierced Naruto's chest as the Uchiha had a large grin on his face. I told you that you would never beat me, Sasuke said. Just so you know, Sasuke, Naruto started causing the Uchiha to look at him in shock as well as the others watching. I let you do this so you have nowhere to go. Demon Fox Rasengan, Naruto shouted as he brought a crimson Rasengan up into Sasuke's gut. Naruto held the jutsu for a few moments before pushing against the Uchiha, sending him flying. Naruto felt his wound heal thanks to the fox as he stared at Sasuke slowly trying to stand. Once Sasuke was back to his feet, he felt something pierce his shoulder and looked to see a chain being held by Naruto. Get over here, Naruto said as he yanked on the chain, causing the Uchiha to fly towards the blonde. Naruto caught Sasuke by the throat and slammed him into the ground on his back. Ever talk bad about anyone I care about, Sasuke, I will kill you. Naruto growled out as he threw Sasuke at Kakashi. Get this garbage out of here, I have a match to start. Once Kakashi and Sasuke were gone, Naruto and Gaara took their places back on the field. After Genma asked if they were ready, the match started with Genma jumping away. Mother says you are strong and that I will need her power to beat you. Do not prove us wrong, Uzumaki. Gaara said as he surrounded himself in a dome of sand. What the hell is he doing? Naruto asked out loud. Kit, stop him now. This energy he is gathering is coming from Shikaku. Kurama yelled at Naruto. Naruto nodded as he ran toward the sand dome, and held his right hand up with his palm facing forward. Chain Impaler. Naruto said as a chain shot from his hand and pierced through the sand dome, shocking the Suna ninjas that knew of Gaara's defense. A few moments later and everyone heard Gaara scream and the sand dome faded away. Before anything could be done, Temari and Kankuro landed near Gaara and picked him up before jumping away. Feathers started falling around the area as Ninja released the Genjutsu and started to fight. A four-sided purple barrier appeared at the top of the exam stadium around the Kage box. Kurama, I need you to go after your brother and Gaara and keep them from destroying the village. I have a visit with a snake I have to get to. Naruto told his partner. You do remember that I can't do anything because of this seal, and even if I could I am still stuck in here. Kurama replied. I already worked that out, and I think you will enjoy what I have come up with. Naruto replied with a smirk, confusing the fox. Around the Hidden Leaf village, battles were taking place as the Leaf Ninja fought against the invading forces of Suna and Oto. Naruto used chakra to stick to the wall of the exams arena as he ran back up towards the competitor's box. As he ran, he reached up to the card case and pushed his chakra into it as a card fell out into his hand. There were two images on the card. On one half of the card stood a large, nine-tailed fox with glowing red eyes and crimson fur. On the other half of the card stood a crimson-haired man. The man was tall, had deep red eyes, and his hair reached down to his back. He had a katana strapped to his side that looked to be made of bone, and he wore a red kimono with black hakama. As Naruto flipped over the railing, he had to dodge an Oto ninja's body as it was knocked into the arena floor courtesy of Fu. Fu looked over and was surprised to see Naruto standing there. Naruto-kun, what are you doing here? Fu asked as the other Leaf Genin looked at the blonde. Just evening out the playing field, Fu-chan. Naruto said as he dropped the card to the ground. You ready, Kurama? Naruto asked as the large fox. I just hope you know what you're doing, Kit. Replied the fox. I learned this while training with RA and the others. Naruto replied as he bit his thumb before making hand seals ending with the ram hand sign. Ritual summoning, release of hatred. The card glowed a bright red for a few moments before red smoke started to rise from it. A few seconds later, and the smoke cleared to show the man that was on the image of the card. The man looked himself over for a moment before moving around a bit. I can't believe that worked, Kit. You always amaze me in some way. The man said. I'm glad it worked, Kurama. Now go after your brother while I pay a visit to that snake bastard. Naruto replied before Kurama nodded and hopped off after the sand siblings. How did you unseal Kurama? Fu asked the blonde. It's only a temporary thing, Fu-chan. When we have more time I will show you how you can do that for Chome as well, but right now we need to stop Orochimaru. You all work on getting the civilians to safety, I'm going to help Gigi. Naruto replied as he took off running for the Kage box. As he ran, he swiped his still bloody thumb across the summoning tattoo on his arm. A moment later, and Neji was flying in the air beside him. Time already, Naruto-kun? Neji asked, getting a nod from the blonde as she landed around his neck. Naruto made a set of hand signs as he felt Neji's chakra fuse with his. Summoner Art Partial Fusion. In a puff of smoke, Naruto and Neji had combined their bodies. Naruto now had a pair of blue dragon wings, a blue scaled tail, and slitted eyes. Now to help Gigi and the others, Naruto thought as he continued on his way towards his grandfather and others. As Naruto turned a corner and made it clear of the halls of the stadium, he found two girls and two Oto ninja. Naruto recognized who the females were from talking to his godfather. One of the Oto ninja had a hold of Shizen, while the other one was moving towards her. The young white-haired Mito was standing off to the side crying, unable to do anything. Naruto immediately jumped into action and pulled two kunai from his pouch. He appeared behind the ninja holding Shizen and stuck the kunai in his skull. Before his partner even had time to react, Naruto disappeared in a shunshin and reappeared behind the other with his kunai sticking in his throat. Naruto turned and walked to the two females as Shizen was healing herself of the cuts she received. Shizen, are you and Mito okay? Naruto asked. Yes, we're fine. Thank you for the help, Naruto. Shizen replied, looking to the blonde who she had learned of from Jiraiya. Who is this Nei-chan? Mito asked, standing behind Shizen. I'm your older brother, Mito-chan. You'll have to ask your Two-san and have him explain more. I have to go help others now. See you around, Mito-chan. Naruto said as he ruffled the young girl's hair before taking off through the air towards the Kage box. Kurama stood looking at his brother's container as he slowly lost his control to the raccoon. The red-haired Jinchuriki had been trying to kill Kurama for about 20 minutes now. Gaara had failed to do so, and was even more angered by that fact. Every time Gaara and Shikaku attacked the Kyuubi, Kurama would simply avoid the attack or knock it away and laugh at the anger it caused his brother. After not being able to land a decent hit on Kurama, Gaara finally gave in and used his playing a possum jutsu to allow Shikaku to take control. Kurama watched on without a care in the world as Shikaku grew to his full height. "I'm out now, you bastard, and you are going to die," Shikaku yelled as he fired a few wind bullets at Kurama, who simply jumped over them before he was surrounded by a red chakra. As Kurama landed on the ground, his human form was replaced with his nine-tailed fox form. "Hello, little brother. You have never been able to beat me, so what makes you think you will do so now?" Shikaku smirked as he raised his paw as sand shot up from underneath Kurama and wrapped around him, holding him in place. He then held up his other paw as a large disc made of sand appeared floating over his hand. "Sand Slicer!" Shikaku yelled as through the disc as his oldest brother. Shikaku grinned as he watched the fox's front two legs get sliced off before his grin fell as the fox started laughing. "Even after all these years and you still can't even hurt me?" Kurama laughed as he flexed his muscles and broke the sand bindings. A few moments later and both of his front legs regrew themselves. "Foxtail Inferno," Kurama said as his tail stood straight as a ball of fire appeared at the tip of each one before flying at and connecting with Shikaku. The attack pushed the raccoon back some and caused a little bit of damage. "That won't be enough to stop me, Kurama," Shikaku yelled out in anger. "I've been toying with you this whole time, but I'm getting bored, so I think I will finish this and head back to Naruto," the fox replied before making a set of hand signs. "Fire style, Demon Fox Inferno." Kurama breathed out a large stream of fire that took the form of a fox's head as it flew at Shikaku. The jutsu impacted with the tanuki and created a large explosion, waking Gaara and causing Shikaku to return to the seal. Kurama caught the falling boy before he set him on the ground before returning to his human form. Kurama started walking toward the redhead but stopped when Kankuro and Temari appeared between them. "We will not let you hurt our brother," Temari said, causing Kurama to lightly chuckle. "Girl, if I wanted to hurt your brother, he would already be dead. I am Kurama, the Kyuubi no Kitsune. My host is an Uzumaki seal master, and can help with your brother's seal. Shikaku may be a bit insane, but even was never as bad as I saw him just now. Something is wrong with his seal and he needs help," Kurama explained. "Why should we trust you?" Kankuro asked. "Because your father is dead. Orochimaru killed your father, and disguised himself as the Kazekage to get close to the Hokage. Your father has probably been dead for weeks and your village was following the Snake Sanin's orders," Kurama said, getting straight to the point. "We will go back and speak to Naruto," Gaara said, causing his siblings to face him.